Hey guys, brand new podcast. Tops Off World Tour is coming your way. Bismarck, North Dakota, Sioux Falls, Oshkosh, Peoria, Rockford, Augusta, Georgia the following week, Tupelo, Bossier City, Jonesboro. Let me know if I'm saying it right, Bossier City or Bossier City. Followed by the last week of the Tops Off World Tour, Charleston, Lexington, Detroit. Eminem, I'm coming at you. Eminem, will you come to my fucking show? The fuck? I think you'd think I'm very funny. What if he's like, I'm a fan. I love you, dude. You're like my favorite comic. I just don't like to put that shit out there. And then Machine Gun Kelly and I in Cleveland, Ohio. Just kidding. Machine Gun Kelly won't be there. But if he wants to be there, I'll fly him out in a private jet. Him and Megan. These are my offers. Him and Megan. Megan? Is her name Megan? No way. They broke up? Oh, I might have to cancel that Cleveland show. Are you serious? Oh, Machine Gun, if you're looking for not a ton of pussy at my show. They're all married. They're all married, but there are some real fucking, ask John Mans. That comes out weird. Anyway, by the way, there's women at my show, but they love my wife more than me, and they love my daughters way more than me. Tops Off in New Zealand on the 17th of April. I'm super excited. Then at Wellington, I don't know why it says Te Aro. It's Wellington is where we're going. Melbourne, I said it the right way. Torrensville, I don't know why it says Torrensville. We're not going to Torrensville. We're going to Adelaide, but it's Torrensville, Perth, South Brisbane, or as they call it, Bris Vegas, Sydney, Australia on the 29th of April. Tops Off World Tour. My movie, The Machine, comes out Memorial Day weekend. I will say that. You will hear me say that so much. Oh, did I mention Fully Loaded? Fully Loaded, baby. Bert Kreischer, Mark Norman, Shane Gillis, Tiffany Haddish, Stavros Haliakis, Fortune Feemster, David Tell, Lewis Black, Jim Norton, Andrew Santino, Big J. Okerson, Jay Farrow, Dan Soder, Chad Daniels, Ralph Barbosa, Rosebud Baker, and Tammy Pescatelli. We're hitting Forest Hills, New York, Baltimore, Mosaic, PA, Guilford, New Hampshire, Traverse City, Fort Wayne, St. Louis, Lincoln, Huntsville, New Orleans, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Boise, Idaho, and we're ending at the Gorge in Washington State. Fucking Fully Loaded, baby. June 14th to July 15th. Pre-sale starts right now if you're listening to this. Right? Maybe. You know, it doesn't matter. I love you with all my heart. Great new episode today. This is a recap of our tour through Europe. It's me, Mark Smalls, Shane Torres, who's, by the way, Leanna's producing his special next weekend in New York at the Sultan Room in Brooklyn. If you want tickets, go to ShaneTorres.com. Go, whatever it is, fucking good luck. Good luck. Shane has a digital footprint like a Bigfoot. It's there, but you can't find it. You can see the footprint, but then you just can't find it. It's on his Insta page. And Lacie Mackey, my trainer. It's me, Shane Torres, Mark Smalls, and Lacie Mackey, my trainer. And we basically recap our tour through Europe. And we talk about the KFC guys. We talk about our training. We talk about what we did. I mean, I'm trying to make these intros shorter and shorter. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my personal trainer, Lacie Mackey, and my two favorite comics, Mark Smalls and Shane Torres. We're back to what we like to call let's kill beers and get wasted on our last night in Europe. We have been here for 27 days, 24 days.
Yeah.
25 days. Let's recap. God. Peter's got notes. He took notes about this tour. This tour started in Oslo, and what we want to do is we want to tell you our takes on the cities. We're going to make this informative, much like a travel brochure, with fun stories of celebrities running into flying dildos, catching them with one hand, throwing them in their shirt, us finding a guy who at one point had a low-key overdose on mushrooms. We have a lot of fun stories of why I can't see a man eat a banana now.
And peacocking with the world's #1 pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah, peacocking with the world's #1 pound-for-pound fighter.
Let's get Lacie on a chair. Just
You're not in a chair?
No, I have my own booth back here.
Hanging out with.
And then scooch everything over.
Here you go.
Oh, it's nice and warm.
Lacie, we'll be in a 2-shot, okay?
Okay.
And we're also going to talk about our workouts. We worked
And our
out.
ice baths.
And our ice baths, our polar plunges, our saunas, our health, our longevity. We did really good, guys.
Our
we did
dentist
really.
appointments.
Someone lost teeth here. Someone had to go to a dentist.
Loki overdosed on mushrooms. Loki lost teeth.
Is can't use his back. We lost. That was great framing, man. Why did you change it?
Perfect now that Lacey's in now.
Lacie was in before. I knew what I was doing. And we're going to talk a little bit about Hitler. So,
Oh, God.
Great.
Great.
So guys, I'll let you guys pick it up from here. What do you...
You're going to leave us on that line? And a little bit about Hitler.
Are we
Take it
gonna go-
away, Shane.
What's your favorite fact you learned about Hitler this trip?
Oh, man.
So, okay, so
Bert
let's start here.
can't
Let's start
stop
here.
talking
Let's
about it.
start
also,
here.
by the way, we had a German tour manager.
Who we watched Inglourious Bastards with, which was, Shane was like, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, Shane kept saying
He's
how
like-
uncomfortable
I
he
said
was.
that a lot.
No.
And it probably was a little uncomfortable, but not as uncomfortable as you bringing up Hitler every other hour.
Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
but we also
Every
had
day
it was
of
a
every
blitzkrieg,
minute.
if you will,
It
of
was
information.
nonstop.
Here's what happened. I get anxiety sometimes when I travel and I listen to podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts is called The Dictators. When I listen to The Dictators, I like to listen to a long series because I don't want it to change into a new series. When it changes into a new series, I'm like, all of a sudden wake up, I'm like, hold on, are they talking about Robert Mugabe or Pol Pot? Like, what the fuck? And so Hitler is an 8-part series. So I just started randomly. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I started listening to the Hitler pod every night. And then I didn't realize I was doing it, but every day I would bring up Hitler as a point of
Not just
conversation.
every day, like every hour, every
Not
conversation.
every hour, but
But
we'll
like
also
mostly before meals and prayer is when he would bring it up.
we were going
Mostly all the
into
time.
places that Hitler had conquered. And so I was like,
we're in Europe. So
yeah.
it's like-
And so I kept thinking like, wow, this is crazy that Nazis were walking down this street, or I was like, wow, this city's beautiful. How come?
those buildings are missing.
Yeah, but or we went to Stockholm and I go, this is one of the prettiest cities we've ever seen, and they were like, well, you know, our prime minister our king made a deal with Hitler so he could just go through here to get to Norway, and we're like, whoa. So then I opened with that joke. So I ended up talking a lot about Hitler, not realizing how uncomfortable that made our German tour manager and our crew.
and our German bus driver.
And our German bus driver and our German
Actually,
promoter.
Europe might have liked it, but
My
favorite-
favorite Spilling's Norwegian.
yeah, my favorite part was it would just kind of get silent in the room, and you would just be like, you know, it's crazy. And that would be always the like preface to the crazy
Yeah.
Hitler fact.
Hitler
Yeah,
used
we've
to
been
like
watching Cake Boss or something.
Yeah.
Hitler used to like a teaspoon of sugar in his wine. Kind of crazy. He had one
crazy.
testicle. I think a goat bit his dick off. These are all little things you learn when you listen to a podcast on Hitler. His dad worked for the government. His dad would have a glass of wine every morning before he'd go to work. And, you know, you learn a lot.
Is this podcast about to turn into you doing your rendition of dictators?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Hitler?
Oh, my God. That guy's voice is so... He fucking relaxes. It was 1918 in Munich when a young... You know he's talking about Hitler. Yeah. A young man walked into a dog park with his dog... Blondie. He was wearing dark leather riding boots. Like Hitler does sound like a fucking freak when you talk about him. He only fucked his niece, got her pregnant, and then she killed herself. Guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Guy's a bad guy.
Yeah. It was a rough time.
Guy's a bad guy.
Jerk.
Rough time.
But hold on. What's funny is I said it 2 or 3 times, and you guys were making fun of me. But I was like, we did watch Inglourious Bastards with Germans, and it is funny how Ben would just like he'd be like, yes, these guys really deserve it, huh, guys?
No, yes, I hope they
It would
don't
be
get
like-
away.
It would
Also,
be like watching. It would be like watching 12 Years a Slave with a cast of Wild and Out. It would be at a certain point you'd be like, hey, this guy's a real meanie, real knucklehead. This guy.
No,
You think you would listen to him tell his story?
Yeah. It's like watching a movie with tits with your like mom. It's
Yeah.
just uncomfortable.
It was just
Yeah, that's a
uncomfortable.
good
Yeah.
way to put it.
Yeah.
or what I said also.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. I can only relate to one of those.
So there was a lot of talk about World War II and the people that committed it throughout this entire tour.
Well, I don't know if I wouldn't give yourself credit about World War II. I think it was more
Just Hitler.
It was just
Yeah.
Hitler.
But
We didn't learn
I
any
think,
other facts
I think-
about World War II, really.
Let's
And
pivot.
you kept saying, "I wish we were staying in Germany longer."
Yeah.
I
love
did not
Berlin.
want to be in Germany. I mean, Germany was the one stop on this tour that I was. Germany and Greece are the two stops I did not want to make because I was like, oh fuck, it's gonna be. I was like, there's a language barrier. It's gonna be horrible shows, and they were great shows.
Yeah, I loved both those shows.
Greece was surprisingly phenomenal.
It was set up well too. It was cool.
I think Russell Howard. I was just talking with him, and he said, "Yeah, your shows are crazy," and I was like, in my head, I was like, "Yeah, but like I don't know why." And then I realized, I ripped my shirt off. I'm in a foreign country, ripping my shirt off, like let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, I'm everything they think Americans are going to be, and that's why we had shows like Dublin, which was fucking insane. We should start at one point and work our way to the end.
You wanted to start
You
at
go
the beginning?
chronological?
Let's start at the beginning. First day.
Where
Let's talk
where
about
was that at?
Oslo.
Holy shit, that feels like 12 years a slave ago, dude.
12 years a slave ago.
Invictus picked us up.
And by the way, we had organized
Vigdis.
this. We had organized this, and I think everyone was nervous, including me, and everyone was hungover. We had just flown in the night before. We had had drinks the night before, and then she picked us up with her
Drinks and reindeer. That was the first time
That's right. We had reindeer for
had
dinner.
reindeer and cherries.
It's crazy. They put the cherry on the nose, and then it lights up.
Yeah.
And they blow smoke on it. It's
Yeah.
like, where's my
And
dish?
then nobody else gets their dinner.
Rudolph, where's my dish? And so she picked us up with her husband.
Her husband was a driver for us, and then her two sons. Two of her three sons came with us.
Gorgeous.
Look
That
out,
were like
Hemsworth
Vikings. Yeah.
They were beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And by
his-
the way, Invictus or
Vigdis.
Vigdis was gorgeous.
Yeah, she was awesome.
I remember she gave me a hug, and I was like, "Your body's rock hard. Your skin's fucking
She's
brand
60,
new."
I
And
think
she's
she said.
60.
Yeah.
She was legit hot. And
Yeah.
so, why don't you walk us through where we went, guys?
Well, her husband pulled up in a Tesla that I felt like was breaking down because it was all the doors and trunks and lights were going
put on
off.
the
Well, he was
party
putting
mode.
on
But he
the
put
party
it on party
song.
mode to
Yeah.
like show off at 7:00 in the morning
In a fucking
freezing
Christmas
Norwegian
song.
parking garage.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just fucking shut the fucking trunk and drive us to this hellhole of a fucking plunge that we have
Mark
to do.
was terrified and angry instantly.
I was not even angry at that point. I was terrified.
Yeah,
though.
you were
very
terrified.
scared.
You were nervous.
Yeah.
You were very nervous.
Well, it's first of all, it's the coldest we've ever been. It's fucking freezing. It's below freezing there.
It's open water.
There's snow on the ground. Mance has footage.
It's open water.
Can you make sure Halston gets this footage?
It's snowy, and you have to swim in it, which is very different than getting
Is
into a
that
polar
Ben in
plunge.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben went in first. This
Ben
is
was
our
with
first.
us?
Yeah. Remember, he was like, we were like, how are you? He was like, my feet are cold.
My toes are cold.
My toes.
Yeah, he was in very long.
It was the first time we had done a slight polar plunge in Alaska, but this one felt a little more real. The thing that
Yeah, that's right. We did.
Yeah,
the
we did
thing
3.
that kind of upset me was going into the sauna and looking at Vigdis and her two just
Adonis sons.
fucking dime pieces of sons
Yeah.
that I've never seen bodies like that. And then our tour manager is just ripped and jacked, and Bert's in a Speedo, and
And we're there.
we're there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be doing that, like that scares me.
Yeah.
And then you hop in. I don't think I've ever felt fear like that. You
Well,
guys just hopped
Well,
right
it's
in.
what's
No,
what's
we didn't.
what's
We've
interesting
done it
to
for a
me
while.
because Lacie and I have done this a lot, and Lacie probably way more than any of us. But what was cool to me is that it was a wood burning stove in a
Floating sauna.
floating sauna.
On
This
the
was a dock
fjord.
that had it looked like food trucks.
Yeah.
Like it
yeah.
had
It looked like a truck park, yeah.
probably 14 to 20 saunas that were all different shapes and sizes, and then they had like a shower, and it was all on this fjord, and you could Go, and we rented one out for, I think we rented for like 2 hours. And he was like, you need to be out by 10. And I was like, don't worry, buddy.
You're like, there's no way we're staying that long. Guess what? We stayed that long.
Oh my God. Sorry. We did
We're
stay
all
that long.
a little bit sick.
We all stay out with us.
Yeah, it was a real healthy move for us to go into that.
Maybe that started off well.
So there was a wood burning stove, and we were in for a little bit, and we realized Vigdis doesn't really do saunas.
Right.
She just does the cold plunge.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like, okay, you guys ready to go in the cold plunge? And
Right.
we're like, well, we're not really hot yet.
Yeah, we're trying to do 20 minutes in here.
So we went in the first time, and the first time I felt, so I dropped a weight on my foot a long time ago, on my left foot, and it never broke. And I always wondered about it. The second I got in, I felt where I dropped that weight randomly.
You felt like a crack in the
I
bone.
felt that crack in the bone, and I went, whew, this is cold.
It was fucking.
And you had to swim. So you had to fucking move your hands. And normally, and Lacie said this to me, when we cold plunge, if you stay still, it doesn't burn. If you just stay still, you're fine. But when you move your body, it gets colder.
Yeah, it just keeps repeating the process of cold. So it's like your body is just going through that constantly.
And normally when we do cold plunges, we do it at like 42 degrees, right?
Yeah.
This
Seems like a
was
cakewalk.
32 degrees.
This was so cold.
This was so much colder than anything we'd ever been in.
I don't even swim in heated pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your credit, you got in, got out, and then you made yourself do it again.
Yeah. The
And then you
first
were
one,
fine.
the first one, I almost cried.
But then
That
by
was
the
a
end, you were
lot.
jumping in.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we built to that because we
Yeah.
go back in and secret time. This is when I had my first panic attack of the trip. Is I got
that
in
early, huh?
I got in and
Could have been the death involving elements that we were.
yeah, well, something happened to my skin where it was like it felt like someone had rubbed icy hot all over it, and I went, calm down, and then Lacie said, "Ooh, my skin feels weird, like almost like burning," and I went, "That's happening to you too?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah," and I went, "Okay," and then panic disappeared.
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, who wants to go in again? We did it again. And this time we got, and then we did a read on this one. And if cameras are on, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can do anything if camera's on. And then we did it again. We did it probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then the
We
last,
did 4.
we did 4. And then the last one,
We jumped in.
Yeah, that was. I didn't like that.
I loved it.
The third one was the worst. The first one was like bad, and the second one got easy, and the third one for whatever reason was like fucking brutal. Oh God.
We felt phenomenal. Went back to the hotel and had a amazing breakfast.
Yep. That hotel was great.
It does make you feel very, because then we did it the next day. I thought it was a one-time thing.
Oh yeah, we went back. We went to a
We went to a
different.
different one. the
And
next
it
day.
turned out to be a theme, and that was upsetting. But I like, I was just upset that I was like, oh my God, it's my first world tour. I'm going on tour with Bert fucking Kreischer. It's going to be a fucking party. We're waking up at 7 o'clock doing sauna cold plunges. And I was like, this is not what I fucking signed
The
up for.
sun's not even up yet.
The
You're in
sun's not up yet.
north.
The sun
North.
never
So-
came up.
So north that the sun doesn't come up
The
until
sun
10.
never came up, and it was like, what did I just get I just signed up for something that I could never. But then you feel great. You literally, then you're
It
energized.
works. I will say it works.
It
It's
does.
like as much as I don't want to do it ever again.
Shane the whole time was like, not doing this tomorrow, and every time he would do it the next
Yeah.
day.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm a team player, but
Well, the next day, we did we have a show that night?
in Oslo.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys had a
No,
show.
the first night we had dinner. The second night was when we went to the fjord with Vigdis and her family, or the second morning.
Yeah.
And then the third morning, you guys were like, "We're getting up early to go."
Did we have to catch a flight, right?
Yeah, before the flight.
Did I gain weight this trip?
That's from the beginning.
That's the beginning of the trip, dude. You definitely aren't that big.
That was our second. That was our second.
This was our second day.
Floating
So
sauna
we had
experience.
a flight. We had a flight that morning, and we got up at 7 in the
yeah.
morning. Went down the street to what was it called? Horrors Sluts Landing. Cock Landing,
Yeah.
Cock.
which
Yeah.
they're all open crack of dawn.
Yeah.
and it's really fucking cool. I wish they had more of these.
It was
in
like
LA.
a nice area too, with like a lot of like apartment buildings and stuff, and we were pretty loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this is more like in a marina. This is the morning after. We have a flight now to no, not Berlin.
Stockholm.
We have a flight to Stockholm. We do the sauna. We polar plunge back and forth for an hour.
Yep. We just
Yeah.
did an hour on that one because we needed to be out early.
got on a flight to Stockholm and no one drank. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Everyone was fine because we had a rule that if it was a flight under 2 hours, nobody would drink, right?
And I didn't drink.
And we did not.
And then
For that first
For
flight.
the first
For
flight.
the flight to Stockholm.
and for the flight to Copenhagen.
Okay.
And
Get defensive. Get defensive.
I think
Get defensive.
And then things might have fallen off a little bit.
Well, here was the rule.
too.
We made addendums to the rule. It was if the plane was under 2 hours but over 30 minutes, then you could drink, right?
Yeah, right,
It was
right,
like
right,
it was
right,
kind of
right.
like a little window giveaway,
Yeah.
you know? Because obviously you don't think you should drink on a 30-minute flight, but I feel like that's the best because you can only get 1 or 2 in, so you
Yeah.
can't overdo it.
you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked how many you can squeeze in.
Yeah. If you're trying.
I got outvoted. Is what we're saying.
I didn't drink to Stockholm. I also didn't drink to Copenhagen. And then I also didn't drink to the next one because I was sick.
Berlin.
Yeah, you were sick.
Yeah.
And then you miss Berlin.
What was this?
This was after Sweden.
When we went to that Chinese restaurant, that was the second.
That was Stockholm.
Yeah.
That was our second night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I got sick as fucking shit.
That's when you ate copious amounts of chili oil.
Yeah, and everyone thought they the homie picked the homie. What was his name? Bering.
I think it was Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Yeah, he picked the meals for us, and he
In two
didn't-
in two of the cities.
Yeah,
right?
and he didn't explain what anything was, and this chicken came out. What it looked like was chicken soup, but it was chicken in just red hot sauce,
Chili
oil.
Straight chili oil.
So we were
you
eating
guys
it
were
like soup.
Yeah, but you guys were scooping it I was like, that's not what you're supposed to
Don't
do.
do that.
And
Don't
then
do
he
that.
says, make sure not to eat the chilies. And I'm like,
Like halfway through, you were like, I
yeah.
already
And I'm
ate
like,
those.
I've been eating the chilies the whole time. I thought they were vegetables.
I mean, technically they are vegetables.
Yeah, technically.
yeah.
The 151, the super, that really strong.
Oh, that shit was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
we-
also like,
Yeah, he made us drink nail polish remover.
Yeah, it was-
And he was like, "No, this is traditional sweet." And I was like, "Yeah, we
And
get
it
it."
came in like a thimble-sized shot.
it was
Yeah, no,
clear
it was
that you weren't
actual
supposed to be drinking that.
nail polish remover.
Yeah, yeah.
Bijou is what it was called? Yeah.
Bijou.
Yeah.
We were drinking traditional bijou. I woke up that night with my stomach spasming and was the sickest I've been on this trip, definitely, but it was a mess. And then we had to fly that day. Is that me? It was the worst diarrhea. I thought I was going to have acid reflux because the food was so spicy. I woke up and my stomach was in knots. It was just spasming. Oh my God, I shit aggressively on the flight. And I didn't drink that day on the
Yeah,
flight.
you felt
Was
horrible.
that to
morning.
Berlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was to Berlin.
Because we got to Berlin and I was still sick in Berlin.
You went to bed.
Yeah.
I went to bed. I didn't see anything in Berlin. I woke up right before the show. I was sick going to the venue. I was sick at the venue. And then the second I got on stage,
I knew that was going
it
to happen too.
disappeared.
I knew that was going to happen.
Forever.
Yeah.
You were fine.
I killed a beer and I said, it's so good to be home. Mm-hmm. And they were like, but Kreischer, welcome home, Kreischer.
That's right. And then the Marines, those kids showed up. The Marines showed up.
Yeah. We all fucked him. It was like such a.
It was nice.
And my Robert from my movie, The Machine, showed up with his wife.
Oh, he's like a villain in it? He plays
Yeah,
the villain?
he's plays one of the bad guys. And it was
They were a great crowd, dude.
Berlin was fucking all. I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
Oh,
It was
and then
fucking
I
awful.
get a DM.
Columbia Hall. That's where we played, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a DM after the show because people would send pics from they took in the
Oh, yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
I get a DM and it's me and Bert after the show on stage getting our hero cake and just getting applause or whatever. And I had I just waved to the crowd, like this.
But in a picture, that looks
Freeze
a lot
it.
like
But
this.
in a picture, that looks a lot like this. And he sent me the picture and laughing face emojis. I was like, why is he laughing at this cool picture? And then you look and it's the wrong picture to take in Germany. It
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
full on.
By the way, it's against the law.
Oh yeah, but at
against
least
the
it was
law
with
to-
the left hand. It was
Yeah,
with
it's
the
both
left
the
That
hand.
was like the
hand.
weird part that you guys were like, no, it's wrong arm. It's fine.
Yeah.
That was what Ben said.
when
That
you,
was what Ben said.
That was like when you get your ears pierced and you're like, don't do the right side because that makes me gay. You
Yeah.
know? Just the left.
If you Heil Hitler from the left, it means you're gay.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah. Ben was like, no, he doesn't even do it right. And I was like,
The wrong
what?
hand.
Yeah, he got.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
He's like, come to the bathroom. I'll teach you.
Let's start out with the rules that you set forth for travel on this one.
All right. Well,
Let's talk about that.
So
And let's
I-
get Peter in on this one.
I
'cause-
let everyone know that I did not want to be checking baggage.
Yeah.
I wanted everyone to carry on.
Which is
Light.
understandable. You want to
Everybody
fly to the
moving light.
airport.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get through the fucking airport.
Because we had so much travel.
And the very first day, Ben our German tour manager has a huge fucking bag, and he goes, "I will be checking this on," and we're like, okay, so I guess that
The rest of
defeats.
us
Yeah, well, that
are
defeats.
freezing.
But we were
have
still
no
carrying
clothes.
on at that point. We're still
carrying
Yeah,
on.
he checks his bag
Yeah.
and we go through.
To say that they are strict at TSA in Europe is an understatement. They are
Thorough.
almost cunts.
No, they're shitty.
Thorough.
I had a bunch of shampoos and stuff I'd taken from the hotel in, I think, Stockholm, the ones you gave me.
Yeah.
Because I really liked them. And they were like, it all has to fit in
The
this
small
clear
bag.
bag, you know, right? And then I was like, all of my toiletries have to fit in this thing? And they're like, yes. And I was like, can I have another bag? And they were like, no. And then so I started throwing stuff out, right? And then they were like, and the bag wouldn't close. And they're like, it's fine now. I was like, oh, so it's
I just threw all
fine
that
now that I threw shit out? I was like, no wonder you guys are fucking idiots and working here. I was
Yeah.
so mad about it
Yeah.
because it made no sense and it was redundant as shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a system where I was like shoving my extra toiletries in other people's things.
I was doing that. I
And
did that
it
with
worked out
Rogan.
pretty
and
well.
How's your
Husky.
system?
Yeah, that was my system.
My system was I was just giving everybody else my shit.
And it worked.
And
I made
what
it
a
Lacie-
through.
great system it
Lacie
was.
Oh, what
had
about
a-
this system?
It worked.
Hold on. Hang on. Manzi. So Manzi, just to make this digestible, you need to show these footages to Halston so he can put them up. But hold on. Let's us
get to
help
that one.
us. Let's all be a team. Because Lacie had a gallon bag of supplements, gels, shampoos,
All liquids.
steroids,
Yeah.
peptides.
Yeah.
Lacie,
Shit you can't even get in the States.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they
Illegal.
made magnesium in fucking jelly form.
Yeah.
and
It's liposomal. It's better,
was-
easier to digest. And
And
absorb.
so she had and as we went through our very first customs in London to get to Oslo, everyone's like, it's got to fit in this bag. And Lacie has like 2-gallon bags. She's like, can people hold these things for me? I put half of my stuff in Pete's bags. I was like, Pete, where's your bag? And he's right here. I started shoving Rogaine and whiskey in his bag.
And then Pete was like, I only brought 2 shirts. It's plenty of room.
Yeah.
For the record, your toiletries bag is like Rogaine and whiskey, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit.
Rogaine
no
and
soap,
whiskey.
No.
All this podcast.
We had to bring a lot of podcast gear and was all carry on. We go to our very first flight and Ben just goes to check on bags and we realize, well, great. So we're going to be waiting for him to get his bag anyway. We might as well just check on fucking bags. And so fucking frustrating. So we go and what's the matter?
The lights went out over there. These. Oh yeah. Just wanted to be sure we caught it.
We're like, fuck it. I guess we'll be checking on bags. But we flew without bags for a while. And then we were like, all right, we need one bag to put shoes in. And
It was like day 2, actually. We were
Yeah.
like, we got to figure this out.
All this gear in my bag.
Yeah, just for the record, Pete has 2 shirts that he's survived in this entire time.
2 shirts and 1 pair of pants. Have you washed those yet?
Entire time.
For real? If you want, I can wash them for you. By the way, Pete did laundry the other night and did not, and the dryer gave out, and then just kind of low key just was like, I'll just leave them in the bag and figure it out later. And then I went and saw, and I was like, what is in this bag? It's like rocks. And it's full of water and it's full of clothes. And I was like, oh, I'll just hang them all up and help Pete out. And they were so fucking
Smelled
mildewed.
so bad. You would walk into the room and it would be this waft of like,
Yeah, those
dead animal.
dryers suck. They broke like 5 times. That washer spun fast. I thought it was gonna take off to the moon. Those things are just going.
It was shaking the whole upstairs. Yeah, I know, because I was like packing my laundry and I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? Yeah.
Also, we're used to being able to go into theaters that have washer dryer. So when you get in, you wash your clothes in the day and then it's clean.
Yeah.
Not
All right,
this time.
Let's get us out of Berlin into possibly one of the most interesting parts.
And then I had the experience with the dogs before that. Yeah. See, like I never had a problem with the TSA in Europe. Like I thought it was actually much easier because when you go through TSA in America, you got to go through body scanners. They make you take off everything, all your shoes. They didn't really do that out here, and you just walk right through a metal detector. And so, you know, I'm haven't found weed, and somehow I found weed in Germany, and I smoked a little weed, and then I had like the littlest bit left. You know, it was like another joint or a blunt, and I was like, fuck it, they haven't fucked with me. I'll take it. I'll take it on this flight. You know, it'll be fine. And we're checking bags? No problem. I put it in my bag. We walk out to the carousel. The doors open, and I see a drug dog just bouncing on the carousel, going from bag to bag to bag to bag. Bert looks at me and he goes, makes you nervous, huh? And I was like, no, it'll be fine, dude.
Yeah.
And
You were fucking sweating.
Yeah,
I was
you were
sweating.
panicking.
I was
Yeah.
sweating.
It was clear.
I was sweating. I was like, here it is. It's over for me. I'm getting locked up. Shane's like, just leave. And I was like, dude, I can't fucking just leave.
I didn't say just leave.
You were like, you could just leave. He was
I
like,
think
just,
I said that. I was
oh,
like,
maybe
just bounce
that was
out,
it.
just
Yeah.
bounce out.
Yeah.
By the
it's
way,
not like they
I'm-
don't know who the bag
I don't know
Yeah,
Mark
go get
has.
in the-
I don't know Mark has drugs, so I'm going to the bar.
Oh my
and
God. And
The
yeah,
hot
you're
dog
getting
stand.
I got
You've
hot
seen-
dogs. I got beers. I got
It was
Joe's,
like a fucking-
Joe's the
We had the
juice.
It was like a
Juice.
Dodgers game. Like, Bert was going nuts.
I was like,
And-
guys, no rush, no rush. And Mark's like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I beat
was
that dog
so-
to our carousel. As soon as that, I had to reach over the curtain to grab my bag, because as soon as that thing came out, right before that dog started prancing on our carousel, I was like, get me out of here.
Ran out of there.
That was
Yeah.
fucking great. And then be smart. Don't start. Kick the habit. Put it out before it puts you out. All phrases we've heard 100 times, but we continue to still have bad habits. I have a few bad habits. I have a lot of bad habits. I've kicked some of the bad habits, and some of the bad habits stick around. Some of the bad habits are my branding. Some of the bad habits, like I'll tell you right now, chewing tobacco, that was one I'm so glad I kicked. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plant and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habits for a positive one. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. Instead of pods filled with potentially harmful chemicals like a vape, Fume uses cores infused with plants like peppermint and cinnamon for a delicious, natural flavor. Fume's new version 2 model is snappy and tactile. With an adjustable airflow dial and a magnetic end cap, your fingers will always have something to always do, which is so important. You'll see this, and I in an episode, I will take something and play with it non-stop. The tactile thing is so important to me, and the taste of the Fume, so good. I'm telling you right now, I didn't expect to like the minty sensation, but it really is nice. Hits the back of your throat. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one. Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. It's Fume's goal to make switching easy and even enjoyable. They have thousands of 5-star reviews from people just like you who successfully switched when other solutions just didn't work. Head to tryfume.com and use the code BERT to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help you kickstart your positive habits. That's tryfum.com and use the code BERT to save an additional 10% off your order today. I know absolutely nothing about buying a house. I know absolutely less than absolutely nothing about buying a house. I know nothing. Here's what I know. Rents are getting more expensive. Things are getting more expensive, including rent. Prices are still skyrocketing, making this the year that you have to stop renting and buy your home right now. This is what Leanne said. And Leanne knows everything about it. She said that's the perfect time to stop renting and buy your first home. And this is backed up by this awesome new podcast. It's a sponsor of our podcast. They're called How to Buy a Home with David Sidoni. I always thought getting a house was out of reach, always. But I have one. I have a couple, and thanks to Leanne. And this podcast is showing you how buying a home is really possible for everyone. I wish I knew this before I bought my first home because I would feel so much more confident, but now I'm sharing this with all my friends. Host David Sidoni has years of experience helping first-time homebuyers close on houses they thought were impossible, even as the housing market went bonkers. His How to Buy a Home podcast is a free resource that breaks down what you need to know to make buying a home a reality. Include, do you need to put in 20% down? I did not know the answer to that. Most people only put down 3.5%. Are you serious? This is everything telling you right now. It is a wealth of information that you already don't have. You'll learn and you'll use for the rest of your life. Well, like, will a mortgage be more than your currently monthly rent? Probably not. Do you need an 800 credit score? No. People are buying homes with credit scores in the 600s, and David's going to tell you how to do that. David can guide you through the next steps that are right for you. He can even connect you with a great realtor in your town that works with first-time home buyers and actually cares about you. That's so important. Start listening to How to Buy a Home podcast today at howtobuyahome.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. Have a question? You can ask David directly at howtobuyahome.com. Visit howtobuyahome.com and make this year the last year you rent. I don't remember. I remember the room I stayed in Copenhagen, Bill Clinton stayed in.
They had an autograph book. Or
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks had been there the like 2 nights before me.
That was Sweden. That wasn't Copenhagen.
Thank you. It was Stockholm.
Well,
it was the night.
That was Sweden. You stayed in the Tom Hanks room in Sweden.
In Sweden, yeah, I thought so. That's what I said to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stockholm. That's where I had the worst diarrhea of my life. And I shit all over this room.
Yes, that was Stockholm.
But yeah, that was in Stockholm. I stayed in the nicest room I've probably at the tour. Not the nicest room of the tour, but by the most expensive room of the tour. All I'm thinking, and you know I overshare. And so I know this is going to sound gross. But all I'm thinking is, okay, not a big deal. You know what? Let's treat everyone nice. Everyone stays in 5-star hotels. Everyone flies first class. When we get to Europe, we save some money. We get on a bus. I know what a bus costs, and we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Totally fine. And then we get to fucking England, and we have a double-decker bus, and immediately I go, how much does this cost? It's a 2-story bus. And our first night, they're like, everyone check into their hotel in London. And I was like, we have hotels still? And then fucking Mark comes out of the swinging doors and goes, this place is nice. I'm like, motherfucker.
It was so funny, dude. Just every hotel, we would all come back like, this is the nicest
better.
hotel we've ever been.
I remember, yeah.
What does Bert's room look like?
Hey, Bert, you got a butler.
They were like, oh, let's all store our shit in Bert's really nice tea room.
Yeah. Bert, I can't find you in your
there
room.
It is there, yeah.
Oh my God. It was just so funny to just every room, every hotel got better and better. And every hotel, Bert's face went like droopier and droopier.
Scared.
To be like, yeah, it's a great room. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are happy.
Well, my room's big, but this is really big. And I'd be like, motherfucker. Hey,
some of the rooms were actually bigger than my apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And that's
so many. It was, by the way, I mean, I stayed in the nicest hotels I've stayed in my life on this trip.
These were,
and once I got past it, and I was like, because I it also couples with the fact that my fucking, with Leanne is like, Leanne's growing at a rate with like business wise and investment wise that's making me panic, and so all this is coupling onto me, and then I'm laying in bed panicking at night, going like, am I gonna fucking have money to like retire? Am I gonna be touring until I'm fucking 70?
Yeah, because of
to
one
fucking
European.
pay for, yeah. And then Leanne goes, calm the fuck
God damn
down.
it, Shane didn't pay for his chocolate bar at the mini bar. And now I
those
gotta
hot
go.
chocolates?
Here I am back at the Improv in Brea.
No, we're at one restaurant in fucking Copenhagen, and you guys are like, this is a Michelin star chef.
It was in the hotel. There
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
for the record, before you got there, everyone was panicking, like, don't order anything. And I was ordering the appetizers. And Manzi was like, I don't know, those are £9 or what is it? €9 per
I look
oyster.
great there.
€9 each.
Yeah, per oyster.
I was wearing a Macho Man Randy Savage
Yeah.
shirt.
The prince was there, or the king was
It
there.
was the first time we saw the King of Denmark.
It's the first time we
It was
saw
a
the King of
Michelin
Denmark.
star restaurant, and Bert looks at the guy, goes, "I got to take a Zoom. Do you have a private room?
Do you have a private room, really quick?"
And proceeds to take a 45-minute Zoom call. The kitchen closes an hour for an hour, and they're just holding it for us.
They're just waiting.
I look like a fucking drug dealer.
Everyone has
Waiter looked like he
beanies
worked out
on.
at Muscle Beach.
Yeah. And it was. Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah. That's not him. That's the sissy one.
That was a sissy one.
That was
amazing.
one of the best meals of
It was
this
really
trip.
good.
It was amazing.
Easily, that was Copenhagen. That was one of the best meals. That's also the night we went to the strip club.
Oh yeah, we asked our big muscle bound waiter like, "What's up with the strip clubs?" And he went, "You won't like it. They're not that fun. You can't touch them out here." And I was like,
Yeah, you can't touch them and
What does he think?
Yeah, what does he think
happens?
Americans do?
And by the way, you could touch them. yeah. I didn't. But almost more like you were bullied into it.
Shane's
aggressive.
stripper was so young. When she got done, the
was-
manager
first of
goes,
all, she wasn't
"Show
mine."
me on the doll
She
where he
wa- I-
touched you."
She wasn't much. She was.
It was no, Shane. You dibsed her. We walked in. You went, "That's mine."
You're like the one. Shane literally said the one that's with the coloring book. I want her.
Yeah. No, I can help her with her long division.
I said, Delia's down. I'm coming up.
He said, "Oh."
Well, we walked
Should we
in.
talk about the
American
No.
American strip clubs, you walk in, you're like, oh, I know what's going on. We walked in and it was up. You walk upstairs.
First of all, we tried to go to the one that was like the popular one, and it was closed.
Yeah, the Bada Bing.
Yeah, that
it
was the
closed.
one I wanted to go.
So then we ended up down a dark alley.
And we find this random strip club where Peter ushers us in.
And what
the
did the
dude,
security guard say to you, Peter? He was like, "Oh, the girl."
I saw you guys walking, and I got there first, and he was like, "The girl with you?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "She can't kiss anyone."
She can't kiss anyone.
Don't worry about it.
I think we're okay.
Well, we walk in and I didn't know it was a strip club because first of all, they take like all of our coats and hats and everything.
And they tell you to wash yourself.
And then right before we go downstairs, he goes, "Do you guys want to wash up and use the bathroom?" And I look at Lacie and Lacie goes, where are we at? I go,
are we?
I think we're at a brothel.
I think we're in a
Yeah.
brothel.
And there were
Then there were
three strippers
Yeah.
total,
and just us.
and us,
And
and then
one of those
another group
came
of
in.
guys, and a
Yeah.
guy that was definitely had his eye on one as a girlfriend.
Yeah, and then a bartender in a like all full on New York Yankees gear.
And and so I
I
go
love
up to the
America.
bar. I go up to the bar, and we're sitting by ourselves forever. I go up to the bar, and I go to get us beers, and the guy recognizes me. And from that moment on, all girls were at our table. He's like, I saw him say to one of the girls, ... points at our table. And he must have said, if you're looking for an idiot with a ton of money that's an alcoholic, that's your guy. And she fucking,
They came out with their claws out.
they came out with their claws out and they're like, take us upstairs. We want to do dances. We want to go to the private room. And I was like, I don't think anyone had gotten a lap dance. No, Pete got a lap dance. And Pete came down and was like, wait.
Let's just not go by that.
Yeah.
No wonder those pants are so disgusting now.
He was forced.
Pete was like, this is my shot. I got to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
And so, no, Pete got
Was it a dance or was it
No.
like a Broadway
I
show?
threw
Because you
Pete-
were up there for a while. It was a 45-minute
Yeah.
HBO special.
She grabbed his face.
Yeah.
She did her recital.
Yeah.
And so Pete came down and he was like, it's pretty aggressive. I said we get out of here. And we were like,
Say what she did to you.
Let's skip that part.
Stop recording.
So-
He basically had to Frogger his cock away from her vagina.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we
they're
get-
aggressive.
We get that Yelp review and we're like, we'll take lap dances for all of us, please. And so it turns out me, Mark, Shane, and Mance, and Pete.
No.
Not Mark. Mark and I stayed downstairs.
Don't dine me out. I sat downstairs with the bartender
And me.
and made friends
Yeah.
and took pictures on the pole. I didn't touch the pole. Then took pictures of Lacie, and Lacie put her goddamn hands all over that fucking pole. And I was
And then
like,
he was
"What
like,
the fuck are
Lacie,
you doing?"
wash your hands.
And
wash
she was
your
like,
hands.
"Oh my god, I didn't even think about it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's all I could think about."
Yeah, whatever was on that pole was also on my stripper's face.
Oh, yeah.
Not my stripper. Not my, like the one that
Chose
she was
you.
like, she just came
chose
up
you.
and she was like,
She
I
went-
like you. And I was
she
like,
went-
it has never happened before for anything like that.
Shane's
still
stripper.
proactive.
Shane's stripper went up and went 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4.
She
5
pretty
potatoes, say eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
She
It
just
was
said, I like you before she said anything. She said,
She had-
hello, I like you. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think
It was a very.
I don't think you do. Did she have a growth on her face or a black eye?
I think it was
She
like
had acne.
It was
Acne or
childhood
something.
acne.
Yeah.
It was young.
She had not
acne.
hit puberty yet, or she was going through it.
She was like, "You can touch," and I was
Yeah.
like, "I cannot."
We all went upstairs to a not so private room, and
It was like basically like, let's talk, and you hear people yelling in another room.
yeah,
Like,
it was
very
basically I think was our comfort zone was that if we were going to get lap dances, we're all
was
going
all
to do it
together,
together.
yeah.
And so we all went together.
which is weird.
It was the weird part was when your girl had to get a permission slip signed.
Look, she pulled it out of her. She pulled it out of her lunchbox.
You also
You're her
brokered like a
guardian.
group deal.
Her lunchbox was also
yeah.
just a munitions case from World War II.
I got a group deal, and then immediately the group deal went sideways, and they're like private rooms for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think Mance like yeah. And we're like yeah, and then we're like hey, this is it. And then my girl proceeded to get very pissy, and was like fine, then I guess we do it here. And I was like are we fighting? Is this our first fight? And so
You guys walked downstairs because I was downstairs. When you guys walked downstairs, it looked like you guys have just stormed the beaches of. You were like, "We got to get out of here now."
Yeah, we gotta
and
go
I
now.
was
We
like,
gotta go
"What
now."
happened? Did you accidentally?"
You got hustled. Somebody got hustled.
We were getting hustled, and I think. By the way, I don't think anything was going to happen in the next room, but I think the idea that we thought they're
was
trying to
another
sell.
room?
They're trying
I
to.
do think something was going to happen.
There was
It might
another
have.
level.
Yeah, I
there was
do,
another
yeah.
level of where
Yeah.
that was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, go downstairs into the regular strip club, then go upstairs, then go upstairs again. There's
Yeah.
There's a
And so
progression.
then the funniest line of the entire
Oh
room.
God, I was just thinking.
entire-
It was like the Nakatomi Plaza of strip clubs. Like there
Yeah.
were so many levels.
We walk out. We have a frustrating 3-song lap dance for the girls and for Mance.
Yeah, it's like, is anyone enjoying this?
No one was.
No one was. And so we get out and we're walking down the street and Lacie goes, "You guys seem like you're frustrated." And Mance goes, "No shit,
he
Lacie."
said, "Why do you think?"
Why do you think?
Why are you guys so frustrated?
Yeah.
Why do you think? In front of a 300-year-old church.
Yeah.
Everybody doubled over laughing.
I almost threw up. It's one of the hardest I've ever laughed on this trip.
That was a buckle. That was
I
a
have
knee
a
buckler.
few hard fucking laughs. That was one of the hardest I ever laughed. And then
It was the energy of like sitting at a stop sign and someone just being like, just fucking go.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so honest and from the core.
From the balls
and
is
then
where
from
it was.
Copenhagen we went to Dublin.
That crowd, remember that crowd?
They were
me see.
nuts.
Oh my God! Show
Yeah.
that to the camera so Halston sees it. So we
Huge-
go to Dublin,
huge
we go to the
English.
O3 Arena, and the 3 Arena, and it was by far one of the wildest shows I've ever performed.
That was
I've
nuts.
ever done in my life. They kept in between jokes. They go into ole 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 ole, and then I just go and fucking kill a beer, and they get louder, and then they'd stop, and I'd go. We pulled into Moscow at 6 a.m. and the place would go fucking bananas.
Yeah.
It was the funnest fucking show. I called Leanne. I called Georgia. I called Isla. I called Tom.
Yeah, you called Tom.
I smoked a cigarette
Oh
on
yeah,
stage.
you almost got a crazy fine.
Yeah, I almost got a crazy fine.
I was sleeping on the roadie cases in the back. Like
Yeah.
I wanted because I was so tired. I was like, I want to be close by when they call for us to come back out.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I just
Yeah.
ole ole.
Yeah, there we go.
They would go crazy.
Oh, when you were like,
Yeah.
oh. But the crazy thing about those shows were, because I went up in the stands and I was watching, they would get so buck wild to the point where you're like, oh, you'll never get them back. But as soon as you would start into the next bit, they would immediately shut up.
You
and
had
they're
'em.
like you had them in the palm of your hands. It was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Until you would want to get a joke out. And then they eventually started bullying you a little bit.
Yeah.
They were like, pull your cock out.
That was Dublin. Recently. No, that was
No,
recently.
that was at the strip club.
No.
I think they said that in Dublin too.
Was
They
that
definitely
Dublin?
said that in Dublin too.
Ireland for 15 minutes, they were saying, whip it out, whip it
Yeah.
out, whip
Oh,
it
I
out.
didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
I thought they were saying.
I don't think you remember.
We got the consumption.
No,
Yeah.
you knew.
You know what's so funny? We have video of that show, don't we?
I don't even think you remember it, dude. They bullied you into drinking like 7
Yeah,
beers
you drink a
on
ton
stage.
of beers. It went on and on and on.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. And then we got off. I don't think we went out. I think
We didn't.
No.
Yes. When we went to a bar.
Oh
No,
my
before the
God.
hotel.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Before the hotel, we went to the pub.
Completely empty pub. Yep.
Yeah,
said,
because the
"Where
guy
are we?"
called. Remember the bartender? They were like, we can do one round, and the bartenders were like, because I met up with you guys because my cousins came,
Yeah.
and the bartender was like, we can do one round, and then the phone rang, and you were like, that's for me, and the bartender was like,
He was so
he
frustrated.
was so mad about it, and the guy goes, I don't understand.
He was like,
And
"Are
he
they
goes,
asking for Bert?"
Bert, and you're like, yeah, that's me, and then you
This
picked
guy's
up-
like, hey, mate, I just got home. Me's can't get to the pub tonight, but I just want to tell you, smashed it. Absolutely smashed it.
What a cool
Legend.
guy.
And I was like, oh, thanks.
and then a horde of fucking
And
drunken
then
Irishmen came.
literally
Yeah.
200 drunken Irishmen showed up.
Yeah.
And this guy went from, we walked in by ourselves, sure, we can have a couple pints, to everybody get the fuck out. Like
they
it was,
were like,
was
they wanted to
livid.
close.
And by the way, this is the first time I'd seen those cousins in 35 years, and they were just like, "What is your life like?"
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
Irish school teachers.
Yeah.
we had that. That was a fun fucking night. And that night, someone said, tomorrow, you need to go to the Forge Inn. And I tagged the Forge
Black
Inn,
Forge, right?
the Black Forge Inn, and I tagged them. And as I tagged them, I read it, and I'm dyslexic, so I read the Black Foreigner. So I was like, hey, we're going to the Black Foreigner tomorrow. If anyone wants to go to the Black Foreigner, we'll be at the Black Foreigner. And then the next morning,
I didn't care for the black foreigner.
yeah, I didn't care for the Black Foreigner. I found it a little bit, whatever. But
A little dark in there.
And so, what did we do the next day? We worked out. We had to work out in Dublin, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
If you did, I didn't. I took
No.
off because I
No.
went down.
You went to.
We worked
you
out.
went
You
to.
I
worked
went down
out.
to see my mom's sisters and stuff. Yeah. Because I
You
took
worked out.
I took the
Hey,
train
Mance,
down.
Can we get another round?
Oh,
of
maybe it was the
drinks?
first day we worked out. Or
We
the-
worked out and then
yeah.
we went for a very cold walk, remember? And I was
Yeah,
like,
and
I
then
don't
I
need a
met-
jacket. And then it was freezing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
hotel
it was
was
that gym.
beautiful.
Oh, we
That's
did
where,
work out at
that's
that
where
gym.
Mark did the ropes for the first time.
Yeah.
And we went for a swim. And
Yeah,
then
so we
went
do
for
the
a very
Black
cold walk.
Forge, and then the
Oh, we
best.
did go for. Hold on, we did go for. You're right.
went to
You're
the-
right. What we did is you went. We worked out. You went. We worked out. By the way, we worked out. We counted it the other day. All but like
3 days.
3 days. So we worked out. Shane worked out every day. I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we
twice
worked
a
After
day.
out-
seeing this footage, I should have worked out twice a day because this is fucking killing me looking at myself.
And so we worked out every fucking day practically. Shane went out to go see his mom's grave and see his mom's sisters. We went and we worked out. And then we said, let's go for a walk. And we went for a walk. We said, we'll pub crawl. So we got a beer and some fish and chips at one place. Really fucking nice. We went to another place. Manzi started to fall asleep. I said, Manzi, don't ever count me out. Do not go to sleep. If you need to, take a nap here. We're going to have the best night of your life. Trust me.
yeah.
If you go to sleep, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. And I get a DM from the Black Forge Inn, and it says, do you think you'll be coming by tonight? And I said, we're on our, and it was two girls.
You're forgetting
Eva,
a funny thing.
Uva, what?
When you guys were at the pub, they were like, you can't sit here. This area is for
Snuggling.
louvers who are snooglers.
Louvers who are
Louvers who are
snoogling.
snooglers.
This is the snoogler corner.
You can go to the back beer garden,
Yeah,
and there
but
were
these-
louvers snoogling.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a louver.
We got a text from Uva Jersina. That's her
I
name.
don't think that's Irish.
UVA.
the two girls?
Jersina.
Yeah, they were
And she
cool.
was at the Black Forge Inn with her friend, and they said, we're here waiting for the machine.
In shirts from the show.
Yeah, in shirts from the show. And there's a part of me, I'm sure, by the way, that we haven't even talked about my therapy spiral yet, but I'm sure.
therapy. That was later.
Yeah,
Man,
that
are
was
we going to get
mid-trip.
beers, man? And so there's something about that identifies with that energy.
Mance.
And so when I
Mance.
see them,
Tequila for me, please, Mance. Thank you.
hey, man, might as well get me 2 pints of Guinness just to make.
Yes, you want one?
Yeah, one session.
Lacey, you
yeah.
need to kill that.
Double
No,
tequila rocks.
I'm good.
And water.
I'm good. I'm good.
Come on,
I'm
Lacey.
good.
I'll come help.
And
Kill the
so,
water? Okay.
And so there's something about me that sees that, and it reminds me of Isla. I think of Isla, who is a fan of shit, like a legit fan of shit. And I and myself, who would go somewhere in hopes of meeting someone that they liked and would wait there and would be genuinely let down if they didn't get that opportunity. I don't know. That's exactly all I see is Isla in so many of my female fans because they're all fucking Isla fans. All my female fans are Isla fans.
That's cool.
Isla, Leanne, and Georgia. They like those girls. So and obviously I don't need to reiterate this, but nothing. I don't put out creepy energy, so I get really cool young ladies that
there's
come
no
out.
Like
there's no like I'm not getting weird DMs. I'm getting like cool DMs.
Yeah,
So
you don't like if you get anything, you get over enthusiasm. Like, and that's fine. That's just
So-
people.
I
we're
look at
not
you guys-
ever on the prowl to get like. There's no like prowling. It's literally looking for an ice bath to jump in. So
Right.
it's like there's
Right.
no.
So I said to the group, I said, when Shane gets here, let's just go to the Black Forge Inn and let's just do that and call it a night. We'll go over there, we'll have a drink or two, we'll say we were there, and then we'll call it a night. And you guys are like, yeah, let's just go. And really randomly, we just decided to leave. So we were going to hit a couple other bars and hit that at the end of the night.
And it was like a 20-minute cab
It was a
ride.
20-minute
so we
cab
were
ride.
like,
But also, let's not forget that we knew it was Conor McGregor's bar.
We did, yeah.
And leading up to it, you had made the joke on Two Bears, I think it was, about like, oh, I can beat up Conor McGregor, right?
I said I could beat up Nate Diaz, definitely.
Oh, Nate Diaz. So, but the whole
But that
whole
night-
time leading up, me and Bert are joking like, I mean, if Connor's there, I mean, listen, I'll help you out. Like,
We'll take
you get
him.
the first shot, I'll come out. He'll never.
I'll give him the business.
I go,
I'll
how,
give him the
how bad
business.
could it be?
How bad could it be?
That's what I kept saying.
Yeah.
horrible.
How bad could it be?
I could take a shot from
We
it.
get to the bar, we see a Rolls Royce out front, and I was
Parked
like,
right out front.
I was like,
I-
no fucking way.
Nope. I said they park it there. I guarantee you, he parks it out there every night so that people think he's in there. And I actually
You did not believe
I
that
did
he
it-
would be there.
No. I was like, I go, ooh. I actually, on my thing, I was like, ooh, someone's Rolls Royce is here as a joke.
Yeah.
I did not notice the energy outside the bar.
Yeah, they were waiting for
me.
you. They were waiting for you.
They were waiting
Yeah.
for me.
The minute we
and-
pulled up, they ran inside.
They ran inside. The manager, who I'd recognized from their Instagram, looks a lot like my buddy Miles Mosley. He grabbed me and he goes, "Oh, so good to have you. So good to have you. We got a table put away in the corner for you. You gonna have dinner?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll probably have dinner." And he goes, "What are we drinking tonight?" And I said, "Whiskey." I said, "I want Connor's whiskey." He goes, "Oh, do you want to meet the boss man?" And I said, "Oh, fuck yeah." And he goes, "Well, I'll introduce you to the boss tonight." And I thought he's gonna introduce me to the general manager or someone else. That's what I figured.
But why the fuck would you want to meet the general manager?
I thought it was just to say thank
Hey,
you.
this is
Also, that was the general manager
This is
that
the
was
foremost
saying that
regional
to you.
manager of the TGI Fridays in the San Bruno area. Like,
I just figured that was what was happening. And so we sit down and he goes, "So here's how it's going to go. We'll bring them over. Everyone, cameras ready. Cameras ready. Get your cameras ready. We'll bring them over. Get a couple pictures. Do you want to wear the belt?" And I went,
Yeah.
Thank you,
"Who are
Peter.
you talking about?" And he goes, "The boss. He's right there." And I look over my shoulder and I see Conor McGregor. And by the way, I'm probably misremembering how this happened.
The look on your face was priceless.
But I fucking lost it. And I went, Conor McGregor. And now old menopausal Manzi is just like, "Oh, Conor McGregor's here." By the way, I will say that the coverage of this moment wasn't so great. Everyone had their cameras out, but it was interesting what everyone was covering, because most people were like just shooting Conor, and then it was so weird, and like even the pictures were like just like honestly, and I
Everyone was starstruck.
Everyone was starstruck, and it was so bad that, and I go, "Oh, I wish we had covered that better," but you go, whatever. And then even when I had a second opportunity to hang out with him, I couldn't operate my camera, and I'm the best at
Professional.
getting my camera out and getting shit content. And I got fucking shaky, and I've seen so many people do it with me where they're like, "Hold on," and they're shaking,
And they're
I
freaking
go,
out.
yeah.
and I freaked out, and I have a video of me going, "Hold on, never mind. Let me get a picture." And then Conor grabbed my camera and started taking pictures. And I was like, "Thank you so much."
When he walked over, all that energy of like, how bad could it be, was immediately washed.
Yeah, everyone was like,
and it
"He's
was
huge."
like, okay, it could be very bad.
Yeah.
Describe Conor McGregor.
I'm going to say his shoulders probably span from Berlin to Munich. Like, his shoulders are so wide. You think he looks short? He's not short.
Not at all.
No,
He's
no.
not
Big.
short. He's not slender. The guy is a tank. He's
Yeah.
a tank, and he's got a full smile on his face, which makes it even scarier.
In a suit.
Full smile with a big chin.
Big chin.
Big.
big fucking suit. He
Posturing.
walks
And
like
he's thick
that.
from front to back.
Yeah.
From his
And he was like shadow boxing in the corner.
Yeah,
So
that
like
was-
seeing how fast his hands move, you're like,
There was no way I could, dude. I could.
He was also expoing in the kitchen a little bit. He just like putting parsley on stuff.
Yeah. No, his suit. His suit was.
He was a food runner.
His suit was like it made me say. I said to Pete, I want to buy a nice jacket, like not a blazer, but a nice winter coat, because he had the nicest everything was like fitted perfectly to him.
I mean, he looked dialed in. He
looked like $1 million.
Yeah, he did.
Like looked like $1 million. Touched his arm hard as a fucking
Did
rock.
you touch his arm?
Oh yeah,
I didn't touch his arm.
I touched all of them. And then
And then we're busy Googling how much he sold his whiskey company for.
yeah, and then he comes over and he's the sweetest guy. Fucking night. He goes, "Hey, thanks for coming." He goes, "So what are you doing here?" I said, "Doing shows." He goes, "Where are you doing shows?" And I said, "The 3 Arena." And he freezes and he goes, 3 Arena? And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You sell it out?" And I said, "Yeah, I sold it out." And he gets in close. He goes, "We both sold out the 3 Arena." And I went, "Shut up!" Like, and I'm like, such a cool moment. And then he goes, "Get some pictures." So we get a couple pictures, and then I rip my shirt off, and the bodyguards are like, "Woo!" And the manager's like, "Nah, I Googled him. This is what he does."
Oh yeah, because
Isn't
that's
it weird that
fighting
you and
words.
Conor McGregor both did it with your shirts off too? That's like two things.
Well, he's been in that bar a lot with his shirt off. So I was hoping, but he's in a suit. So I take a couple pictures with my shirt off. First thing I do, I sit down, I texted to Joe. Joe's like, "Tell him I said hi." And I was like, "I will." And then he came by and he said, I can't remember how it went, but I think he goes, "Tell Joe I said hi." And I said, "Joe just texted me, said hi." And he goes, "Tell him I'll see him again real soon." And I was like, "Oh," and it was nice because they were like beefing. And so, and then the interesting part of the story is that like we go and then he sits with his family, they have dinner, we have dinner. One of the best steaks I've ever had in my entire life. I will say that if you're going to have a steak and possibly have the chance of running into the greatest cage fighter that's ever lived, one of the best cage fighters, if not the best cage fighter that's ever lived, but by far the most entertaining cage fighter that's ever lived, it is a great place to have the best steak in your life and possibly run into him. Yes. Because that steak served on a hot rock, so they cook it rare, served, which I like, served on a hot rock. But what it was fun was that when you get to the center of a steak and it's even a little more rare, you could
sear it. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm going to get a hot rock next time I make a steak for Isla. And I'm going to let her have it on her hot rock and she can cook it the way she wants it. It was a fucking amazing steak. Honestly, my mouth's watering. Probably the best steak. And I had a couple steaks this run. The best steak I've had.
A couple. We had a couple at lunch yesterday.
Yeah. I've been eating steaks like crazy.
a couple at a time.
Yeah, a couple.
It was fucking phenomenal. So then I go to the bathroom and I run into those young ladies, Yuva and her friend, and they've already taken a picture with Conor McGregor. Now they wanted to just meet me. They just met Conor McGregor, and Conor made a beeline to them because they're adorable fucking young ladies. And he made a beeline to them, gets a big picture with them, like a bunch. And then I go over, I take a picture with them, and I start taking pictures with fans. And
you get mobbed a little bit.
I get mobbed a little bit, and Conor just fucking bowls over and goes, "Let's fucking do this." And everyone starts getting pictures with me and Conor McGregor. Like, it was the fucking coolest. And then he comes over to me, we do pictures, and then I pull him aside. I'm like, I have to say thank you. This has been an amazing fucking night. And he's like, "Oh, you're the best comedian that's ever lived." And I was like, "Oh, you don't say that." And he was like, "Better than Joe, better than Tom, better than..."
And he took Kevin Hard off the highlight reel.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
playing
put
in this
you right in
restaurant
there.
with you in there.
No, he was very
and then
sweet.
he was like,
He was nice. They were very hospitable.
Do you
and
know
they
what
let all of us hold the belt too.
Yeah, they brought the belt out for us.
Yeah, which was I thought was really cool that
was
even
fun.
the non-headliners got to have a moment with that thing. That was pretty fun.
was fun.
I will say that the most regrettable picture I took was with Maggie McGregor, Conor's mom. And she wanted to stand on a step so that we were the same height, roughly. And so that put me on a step in front of her. So I was about 8 inches standing in front of her. And she is a small, a small Irish woman. And I look like I'm about 400 pounds.
Buddy,
Do you have that picture, man? Yeah. Let me see it.
Every bit of footage I
Look
see.
at me and Maggie McGregor. I look like I'm fucking massive. I look like Andre the
It
Giant.
looks like she was
That's
inserted
the
in that.
cutest thing I've ever
It looks
seen.
like she was inserted into that
Yeah.
Photoshop.
It almost looks like you're holding her with one arm.
Yeah.
Like a ventriloquist
Yeah.
dummy.
It's fucking anyway. That was, and what's crazy is I had said, and I thought I said it. Maybe I said it on a podcast, but I thought I said it on Instagram. My two things I wanted to party with Liam Gallagher and Conor McGregor, and then all of a sudden that happened. It came to fruition, and I was like, "You push it in the universe. You push it in the universe." Dublin was. I was like, could this tour get any better? The Dublin show, meeting Conor McGregor. And then anywhere I went after, everyone said, I heard the Dublin show was fucking insane. Like, I don't know how word got out, but everyone's like, Dublin was fucking crazy. It was fucking insane. Where did we go after?
There was 1 million people at the Dublin show. It was crazy.
Then we went to Greece.
And we flew to Athens.
No.
We had a beautiful dinner where in the background.
God,
that
I
was the
forgot we
Acropolis.
saw that. I forgot.
This was our dinner.
We did dinner at the top of the hotel.
Show to them too. So if you want to see the whole video, the whole documentary of our tour, you can go to birdieboyproductions.com. We'll be doing a full edit of the whole tour. It really is fun as fuck.
It's dropping
And it should be hilarious.
2029. And
It should drop roughly in the next
We
few
were in
years.
12 countries this month.
that was funny for me.
12?
Yeah.
We haven't even hit halfway yet.
Yeah.
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 I mean, the Greece was funny for me because, we ordered great tuna. We ordered bluefin tuna, which Mance is a very good for him. He's a environmentalist. He's all about taking as much as you need, if not a little less. So that way we have future generations on this planet. The bluefin tuna is an endangered species. But I had already had a previous engagement with the bluefin tuna with Mance, and then there was bluefin tuna on this. I was like, we're fucking getting the bluefin tuna. I don't give a shit.
What was the previous engagement?
What was the previous
Yeah.
engagement?
How did that go down?
Well, we just ordered food after the show, and it was like, pick what you want. I picked my one thing that I wanted, and then halfway, like, I'm ready for the tuna to show up, and I get a text from Mance like, by the way, I didn't order your bluefin tuna. It's endangered. Hope you don't mind. But I got some other stuff I think you would like. And I was like, God
It's the most frustrating thing about
damn
him.
it, man.
It's the
Hey, man,
most frustrating
change the
thing.
temperature and we're here real quick so it suits you perfectly.
We had a moment. We've had a number of moments with Mance, me and Leanne, and I think we did one. I think we had one on Zoom one time where someone was trying to figure out Mance, and Leanne goes, "I'll tell you who Mance is. Mance is a guy that's always right, and it doesn't matter. He does not need you to be right because he knows he is right." Leanne's favorite story she tells about Mance, and it describes him perfectly. She bought a table for the upstairs deck.
Oh, God.
And it gets there, and Mance says, your table got here. And she goes, great. And he goes, do you want me to put it together? And she goes, I would love that. Mance is standing at the beach house. And so he goes, awesome. I'll put it right in the kitchen, right by the window. And she goes, actually, I want it up by the deck. And he goes, I think it would look good by the kitchen, though, because that way you could have your coffee and get on your computer and you could see the ocean and everything's right there. And she goes, no, that would be great, but I want it up on the deck. I want it on the deck, so you can do that on the deck. And he goes, okay. And so we get to the house and her table's in the kitchen. And I start giggling and she goes, why is this here? And I go, because Mance wants it here. And she goes, yeah, but I want it on the thing. And I go, why don't you ask John? So Mance comes in. She goes, John, I thought I want it there. And he goes, yeah, but I think it works better here. She goes, yeah, but I don't want it here. And he goes, I know, but you need to try it tomorrow. If you have your coffee here and you look out of the ocean, you'll really enjoy it. And she goes, yeah, but I don't want it there. I want it on the fucking roof. And he goes, we haven't tried it yet. And she goes, no, it doesn't matter that I tried it. Now, and this is my favorite. Leanne's starting to really lose it. She goes, John, I paid for it. John, I paid for it. And I paid for this fucking beach house. I want it up on the fucking deck. And he goes, it'd be really hard to get up those stairs. And she goes, Mance, I want it upstairs. And so we leave. We come back a week later. It's still there. The table to this day is still where he wants it. And now I don't want it moved because I think it's so fucking funny that Leanne is like, fucking goddamn it, John. So Mance, you'll put it in an order, and then Mance will go. Actually,
wait, what about the end of that story where Mance walks in and Leanne's drinking her coffee at the table, and Mance just like goes upstairs and he looks at it, he goes, pretty nice there.
Yeah,
huh?
right.
But so he orders he doesn't order the tuna.
He does that everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
Yes.
When I go,
Which is
here's what
fine.
we're gonna get. I'm gonna get. The other day I lost it, and I go, John, the second you want to pay for dinner, you can order whatever the fuck you want, and
Other
I'll
than
eat
that,
it.
shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
man. Shut
Yeah,
up, man.
shut the fuck
Shut
up.
up, man. Shut up.
Yeah.
So we ordered the tuna, and it's great tuna, but in the middle of the night, I wake up in full, I guess, mercury poisoning, and my face, I'm just full of
Oh,
you're
hives.
covered in hives.
I'm covered in hives. My face looks like I got beat up by Conor McGregor, and I panic text a group at 5 o'clock in the morning. Does anybody have any Benadryl or allergy medicine? Who's up but Manzi with the allergy medicine?
Shouldn't have had the
And
bluefin
the
tuna.
fucking look he gave me when I showed up at his door at 5 o'clock in the morning of just a shit-eating grin of shouldn't have had it, handed me it, saved my life. And
was
I don't
the
think I'll
best-
ever
it
have
was the
bluefin
best
tuna again.
bluefin tuna.
I'm
I've
surprised
ever
you
had in
made
my
it
life.
through this trip.
I've had a rough
You've had
one.
surgery.
I've had
surgery.
Issues. You broke it down to you're like the soldier everyone thinks is gonna die on the first day.
But you always pop back in.
Yeah.
You always pop back in.
Low-key overdose on mushrooms.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
haven't
away.
even gotten to Amsterdam,
No,
by the way.
I
my
was,
God.
So wait, so Greece was a great show.
Loved Greece.
Great dinner. We went to the
Loved
Acropolis.
Greece.
Went to the
The
Acropolis.
venue was beautiful. Oh
We-
my God!
We saw.
So this is a special
Wait,
walk
well,
that these guards recreate. It's
Show
supposed
it
to
to
mimic
the-
horses
make sure.
walking.
They take us real. By the way, we have. She'll never hear this, but we have one of the most attractive tour guides I've ever had. In my
Yeah, she was
entire
a smoke
life.
show.
She was gorgeous, and she gets us. I have this thing. About schedules.
Blonde women with huge boobs.
No.
Scheduling. We're like,
That's like,
Like,
Shane.
we
Shane
have-
kept pointing out beautiful women, and he'd be like, "That is my type," and I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, Shane."
Well, we will also. Well, we won't put that on.
Yeah.
Dibs game?
She no, I have a thing. They go, Pete's like, so guys, everyone needs to be upstairs in 10 minutes. And I go, and I start melting down. And I go, no, we don't. We paid for her. We got it for the day. I didn't know it was her at the time. I said, this is my day. I want to have
But
my
you
day.
rented basically a nice Sprinter van for us to
And we had a Sprinter van and a tour guide that I had paid for. And I said, I'll use it when I want to use it. And I'll do what I want to do this morning. I'll use this gym. I'll get my.
Because you bought the chunk of time. You didn't buy. You
and so I'm
didn't
like,
buy a
I
schedule.
don't give a fuck. And so I get up and she's a little frustrated. You can tell at first. And she definitely doesn't get our sense of humor. But she's like, you need to see these every hour on the hour. They do these fancy walks, or whatever.
It's a changing of guards,
Changing of
essentially.
guards, yeah.
And the walk they do is supposed to mimic the way horses start to run. So it's a very specific,
like-
march almost, if you will, where their leg comes out high and long and it kicks in the earth, right?
and it's a very
Not-
special
I'm
position.
describing that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
very applicable in war, but
No,
yeah.
but it's I guess it's a kind of like
Yeah, it's a
romantic
show.
Showman,
looking
yeah,
thing.
showmanship.
And then we watch an old man fall for about a minute.
Yeah, like
It was.
like
It
a
was one
horse
of
getting
those,
shot.
falls
Like a horse
where
getting
It
shot.
was
They're still
a-
falling. They're still
a
falling.
Simpsons fall, like Homer is crashing down the stairs into the basement out into the street.
Right in front of this
Show-
guy
can you show it
walking
to-
and all these
I
tourists
have
watching
it. I
the
have
walk.
it. You have it?
Somehow,
I have it on
Bert
my phone.
captures it on camera
And
perfectly.
he goes horizontal and keeps his feet underneath him for maybe 6 steps, right? Because he's just and we're all like,
And then Mark goes, did you get that? And I go, I got it. And he goes, dog. And we started laughing. Shane goes, I thought he was the worst suicide bomber ever.
Because all you hear is pat, 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 pat.
Because this was also on the day that they were burying a former king of
King,
Greece,
Yeah.
who people did not like.
so
And
they
were
said there
very
might be
worried about-
protests and there might be bombs.
and so we were all
There
like,
might be bombs.
We were just like,
That's what they told
Is
us
that
at
isn't that the
dinner.
name of a band? There might be.
they might be giants.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they told us at dinner
They
the
did a
night
theme
before.
song for Malcolm in the Middle.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
They
King of
also
Denmark
have-
followed us there.
I'll send you some of their stuff.
That was a fun tour,
Yeah.
and I think both me and you, as soon as we got on the bus and she started talking through the loudspeaker, I had a panic attack,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't do a 4-hour school bus tour. But then she was like the best.
It got cool. I was like, oh, this is gonna be intense and boring.
Yeah, but it was
How many times on this trip do you think you guys were like, this is going to suck, this is going to suck? And then
anything
all of a
that
sudden
you
it was
suggested.
awesome.
Anything that you suggested, everyone was like, "This is gonna fucking suck."
I know every day.
And
you
then
were-
it was the best.
every
But
day
it
you
was
were like,
great.
no, hold the weight like this, and then squat down and throw it above your head. I was right about how horrible this is going to be.
Well, we definitely had. a great day that day. We went to the Acropolis. We
Yeah,
went around Greece.
the Parthenon, and everything. Yeah,
We went around Parthenon. We did an amazing show. I mean, I will say amazing because I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
I loved it. I love that crowd.
And then we had a great lunch. You remember?
That was a really cool lunch
Yeah.
at like a local spot.
Yeah, and
There was another shut the fuck up man's. We go, we don't know anything about it. Just give us an authentic Greek lunch. And they were like, and you guys want the chicken? I'm like, yeah, chicken. And they're like, some beef? I said, yeah. There's a little bit of that. And I go, hey, you know what? You guys pick. And man goes, actually, can we get half of that? And I go, shut the fuck up. And he goes, I'm not hungry. A lot of us aren't hungry. And I go, no, everyone's hungry except for you. And then Mance proceeded to eat all of it. He ate all of it. It's so fucking true. But,
we had a good portion.
We had a good portion of it.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh, and then Peter and Bert did a very fun Lady and the Tramp donut moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
A Lady in the Tramp donut moment seems like something we would have done in Amsterdam.
yeah. Well, we saw that later as well. In a
Yeah.
different way.
Or
that meal
It
was.
was
and then we,
awkward.
We
Bert
got,
sold me out to the fucking waiter. Bert was
This
like,
is it.
I want ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah.
Yep.
The second one's the best because Bert's eyes are fully closed and just plants his nose right into Pete's nose.
I think Bert fell in love on this kiss.
It's the first time I kissed Peter.
that's
this
Ben,
trip.
the tour manager in the background.
And so we had a great dinner. We did a great show, great lunch, great show. Get on a flight to.
Next week.
Then we went out.
The next morning.
Yeah,
Next morning was my favorite workout we did.
that was
the whole
worst
trip.
day ever.
Wait, are you going to leave out the part where like those guys gave you a piece of a gun and
What?
drugs and we had to like get rid of it?
Oh,
We went
Are
out.
we gonna
because these
miss out?
expat Greeks.
Are we gonna miss out on the fact that Manzi low key almost got laid?
Oh yeah, we left him there.
We left the concert hall in
Manzi-
Greece, and then we went to this cool kind of nightclub.
Promoters had set up a really fucking cool
Great
evening.
dinner in a cool space.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't like DJs, but they had a great DJ.
She was awesome.
Yeah. And then there were all these like expats of Greek descent that like these former U.S. citizens that live there now. And they were wiling out.
Oh, we had a
and they
fucking-
were all wearing like Packers jerseys and shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We got hammered. We met a bunch of really cool people.
They handed us-
Mans.
They kept trying to give us
They
drugs.
handed us parts of a revolver.
They gave us
they
parts
gave
of a gun.
They
that
gave
I
us.
was
They
like,
gave
that's
us
not okay.
a pound of mushrooms. We got like not a pound, but probably an ounce
They
of
gave us-
mushrooms.
Yeah, at least
A
an
lot.
ounce.
An ounce of mushrooms.
Yeah, because I was outside smoking weed, and then I come back in, and there's 35 plates of food that are untouched.
Yeah.
And Bert and Lacie are just sitting in the back corner with the weirdest look on their face.
Scared.
And I was like, they were like scared, but like excited. And I was like, what is going on? They're like, we have an ounce of mushrooms. What do we do with it?
I was like, this is a felony in the States. I can't imagine what they do to you in Greece. Hey, you get the butt fuck with baklava. Hey, get the.
But also like the piece of a gun. Like what did
Yeah,
they
gave
take
us
apart
pieces of
like
a gun, like
murder
it's like a
weapon?
murder weapon. It was sketchy.
And then what did Pete do with it? He threw it away in the worst fashion possible.
No, I wiped it all off with alcohol and I threw it
Smart,
away
Pete,
in
smart.
the gym.
You throw it away in a public trash can, not in the hotel you
Not in the
stayed
fancy
in.
hotel
I literally
next to your room key with your name on it.
Haven't you seen The Equalizer?
that was an interesting gym. It was hot as fuck, right? No, we didn't use a gym.
No, we went.
We went.
We did use a gym there, but we all.
Is that the place
The next
that was
morning was the
playing
workout.
Casablanca?
Yeah, so there was like a really cool. It was a really teeny tiny gym. Oh yeah, we did an outdoor workout that day.
That was the best. That was my favorite workout
I
out of
didn't,
all
I
the
didn't
workouts.
wake up for that one.
We got up. We went out to the
It was
beach.
the best
To the
movie
beach.
made all. the
We
whole
had a
fucking
little
trip.
peninsula on the beach, and we went out
We
and
did
we
burpees
did
and 10 minutes of lunges.
burpees, 10 minutes of lunges, and then this is where we lost Lacie.
This is where Lacie drank some questionable water.
It was beautiful. It was ice cold
You look
in the
great.
ocean. We went into the Aegean Sea, and we bathed in the Aegean Sea before we headed home and got on a plane to not fly again.
Yeah.
To
Went
Manchester.
That was a horrible flight day.
It was 2 flights.
That was our
was-
longest
That
day.
was that sucked.
You guys at customs in the UK is like the most nerve-wracking experience.
They suck at it.
It was
and
bad.
you're vocal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
that was a horrible experience.
That was where we almost missed the flight to Manchester. Yeah.
That was after
missed-
my
And then we
third
did
dentist
it. And then
appointment.
there was like a 90
And it was
minute
totally
delay.
fine. It was
It was,
totally fine.
it was. I'll tell you what's frustrating, and I hope this comes out the right way. When you're in the States, you have some black chick that may be loud when you get there. And she's like, computers in the box, no liquids. God damn it, everyone, get in the it's like she's exhausted with the fact that no one's fucking listening.
Yeah.
What
Pull your
is
fucking headphones out.
Yeah. What's beautiful about that woman is she also doesn't fuck around with bullshit. So like if she looks at your bag and sees a flashlight, she's like, it's a flashlight. I'm not gonna fucking second guess a fucking flashlight. If I see you got a little extra liquids, whatever, we all got liquids. Just keep going. You know, if you have ice, she goes,
It's ice.
this is solid, keep going. She doesn't fuck around. She's not gonna waste her day with fucking paperwork. The Germans, the Swedes, the
English.
the UK.
I mean, they fucking. I spent 15 minutes with these guys taking apart a flashlight, thinking it was a taser, and I was like, "It's not a." And by the way, if it is a taser, you're about to shock the fucking shit out of yourself.
Yeah, if we're like, this it's like putting a rifle on the ground and giving it to an ape and letting like eventually they're gonna fire off a round. Yeah,
They were so frustrating through TSA that I was almost like I'm willing to get rid of all my. Oh, do you have my Rogaine? I got to put my Rogaine in. I was almost willing to get rid of all fluids and just buy new fluids when I got there. It really doesn't make sense on how to travel. But that was our flight to Manchester. When we got to Manchester, we got our bus.
I mean, to be fair, you were carrying around an military-issued backpack, and you looked like a SOCOM Navy SEAL.
Yeah. What the fuck was I thinking? I'm carrying.
Well, basically, in America, we have a more of an obsession with like tactical gear. They don't do that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Really. And you're not even like allowed to. So you have a tactical backpack. It was a tactical looking. Yeah.
and we were kind of fed up with it.
Yeah, when we asked you what that flashlight for, he's like blinding people and hitting them in the fucking head with it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
so they work technically.
Yeah, they were
right.
like-
Yeah, that actually is a pretty
They're like,
dangerous
is this
flashlight.
military grade or
Like,
not?
you could definitely take over a plane with that flashlight.
Yeah.
You bash in the door, you blind the pilots.
Well, and it was
you-
doing the like
If I
thing,
was
the
going to take
seizure
over a
part.
plane, I'd use that flashlight.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, when we got in.
That was
Yeah.
Katie
Greece.
Price, baby. Katie Price.
No,
We
that was
pull in-
Manchester.
We
Was
pull into
it?
Manchester. We get into we go to fucking, now we have a bag, so we're all waiting for luggage. I go to the bar outside security, and paparazzi's there. And I said, who are you waiting for? And he goes, you'll know her when you see her. And I was like, who is it? And he goes, I can't say. She's pretty big. And I was like, well, can you give me a hint? And he goes, don't worry. When she shows up, you'll know who it is. I go, is she more famous than me? And he goes, mate, everyone's more famous than you. And I was like, okay. So I go, so I'm sitting next to the paparazzi, right? So this is what I find comical. Obviously, I don't expect this guy to fucking know me. And look, I know that statement sounds arrogant, but it's a fun statement in that moment where you go, is she more famous than me? And he's like, mate, everyone's more famous than you. And I was like, okay. She comes out. I don't know who the fuck she is. She's very pretty. She has great, I mean, massive tits. And he loses his fucking mind and starts banging out pictures. And I just lean in and I go, Katie, or all I say is, huge fan. And she goes, oh, thanks. She's beautiful, right? I look at him and I go, who the fuck is she? And he goes, are you being serious? That's Katie Price. And I was like, oh, wow. So his picture never makes the fucking...
Never makes
Internet.
any tabloid or anything.
Never makes the tabloids. The next day, we're leaving the hotel. We're getting on our bus for the first time, and paparazzi is there waiting for me. And I go, who the fuck was that? And they're like, oh, that's Katie Price. She's fucking massive. And I say to them, she's a fucking great body. She's beautiful. I'm a fucking fan. And I go, I'm gonna sign up for OnlyFans. That makes the Daily fucking Sun. That, me saying I'm a fan of Katie Price's, makes the Daily Sun. And all of a sudden, I'm watching Google Trends. She fucking spikes because all my fans are like, who the fuck is Katie Price? Her OnlyFans goes through the fucking roof. And I'm like, man, I wish there was a way to communicate the business model to the guy who's a paparazzi waiting for Katie Price to say, hey, man, I can make you a lot more money.
Yeah.
I can make you a ton more money in what you're doing right now. Because part of me, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just like,
But he was a dick.
he was a dick. He was a
He was
cunt.
a-
He was
a
like,
cunt.
he was like, oh, you'll know her when you see her.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is it? And he was like, oh, are you being serious? It's Katie Price. I went, who? And he goes, Katie Price. I went, Katie Price.
Suppose you're going to tell me now you don't know who Courtney Townsmith is.
Fucking, but then we went through and we watched a bunch of Katie Price. I signed up for OnlyFans. Katie Price fucking brings it.
Does she?
Yeah. She got my favorite
I
picture.
still haven't signed up for any OnlyFans yet.
I've signed up for a bunch.
I have not.
My favorite part about Katie Price is that she went and had paparazzi got pictures of her on the beach. My asshole's tingling telling this. Post breast augmentation with stitches and bandages
Oh yeah, I
still
saw that
on her
pic.
tits.
That was cool.
Fucking gangster.
Yeah, that is gangster.
Gangster.
That is fucking
Talk
sick.
about bacterial infection.
Oh my god, my skin is hurting when I think of it. Like when you go ooh, that thing.
Yeah.
So that was Manchester. We go from Manchester. Good show, I guess. I don't remember it.
Manchester, the first show was great. Both shows there were great.
And then we went to
Where the girl bum rushed the stage.
Yeah. I picked up your shirt when we went out and did our curtain call. And she was just like, me, like, give it to me. Like, I was like, I'm not giving you
The shirt.
the shirt.
Yeah.
And she was like yelling at me the whole time. And she was like really intense. And then she ran up on stage behind the curtain. And she was like trying to get it. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Because I don't.
Was that the girl
People-
you hit?
Yeah, it was the one you knocked. Yeah, you knocked her out.
You say I hit her. I say I fucking gave her a lesson. But it was like it really was
Not like the math lesson you gave the stripper in Denmark, right?
No.
You didn't give her the hooked on
First
phonics.
of all, they love math. But it's scary when somebody runs up on the stage and they're not part of the protocol.
Well, you don't know what they're capable
Yeah,
of
and
doing.
you're right. Yeah.
Plus, Bert only has
then
5
there
shirts
was
that
no
were-
security around, and I had to stand there like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, I whisked Bert away like I was
it was
Secret Service.
Yeah.
I was
way,
like,
this way,
I
this
was
way.
like, come
And
on,
then the
this way.
stage manager had to walk because she was a little woman, so I couldn't really like do anything to shove her off the stage.
Yeah.
So then the stage manager, this woman, had to walk over with her headset on and be like, "Get the fuck out of here, Linda. You know you're not supposed to do this."
Oh shit.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, we talked about the bus. The bus was my favorite bus I've ever been on my entire life.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so
I
cool.
have notes. It would be great if it was somehow 1 inch taller everywhere.
So everyone was hitting their
If
head
a
the
lot
whole
of
time.
things were 1 inch more, I'd be a pretty happy man.
A nice line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a great room. I loved
Breast
my room.
size.
I loved the upstairs. We had a beautiful fucking panoramic view of the countryside. It was the best way to see.
Yeah, the windows
so
were
nice.
open. That was the best.
And you could lounge. It was great.
It was the
We
most
watched movies.
relaxing.
and there was space
Yeah.
upstairs and downstairs. Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could get away from each other.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really, that was a great bus. And then we went,
I'm gonna miss being in it.
I'm going to
But,
miss being in it.
Yeah.
Then we went
I'm
to
gonna, I'm gonna have a
London.
hard time getting back in our old bus. I'm not going to lie to you.
Pretty rough transition going back to the one that smells like shit.
Has poison water.
That you can't use the water. And
Yeah.
I'm really bothered by that bus, especially because I own a bus and it's being built and I'm not getting it until this tour is over.
Yeah, that's a
You know
bummer.
what's crazy to me is that like this bus driver didn't FaceTime the whole time.
No.
No rumble strips. I
didn't
slept actually
accidentally
really
sit
well
on
on
his
this bus.
gun.
I slept really well in this bus when I was on it.
I don't know. I was nervous. I never get nervous with Ron driving because I know I trust him. I at times I was like, you never know with Yurt.
Yurt was like
Yurt
it.
was the name of our driver. It's not a slur.
Yurt was so on it that he
Yeah, I walked up and he goes, "Your name's Bert. My name's Yurt. I wear a shirt." And he walked inside.
he was like, it's the sound a
He's like-
frog makes when you ring
He
it out.
goes,
Yeah.
Yurt.
He was great. I loved him.
Also,
I
he
loved Yurt. I actually loved Yurt. He was really cool.
He made our beds. He cleaned the
he
fucking
cleaned.
bus.
They'll say all this. Ron's gonna be like, "Hold on."
He made our beds.
He made our
cleaned.
bed.
He
Cleaned
cleaned
the
every
bus.
time. He
You
cleaned it up
get
every
there,
time.
except he took my Winston Churchill glass and
Don't
hit
think
it and
Hey,
put
here,
it.
Took it. I think he
that,
washed
if
it.
you think that glass was actually from Winston Churchill, you're nuts. Because this is the
This is the
exact
same
same
glass.
Here's one too.
No,
Hey,
it's
look.
it's from Winston
Oh, look at
Churchill.
me! I got Mussolini's hat. and now I'm wearing the sunglasses John F. Kennedy had on.
all right. Ha ha ha. Where's Support for today's episode comes from True Classic. As a people-driven brand, the True Classic people believe The clothes you wear should make you feel confident and comfortable so you can show up as the best version of yourself every day. This is your one-stop shop for all your wardrobe essentials. Their shirts have a premium fit that's tighter in the shoulders and the biceps for an extra boost of confidence, and that is accurate. I feel jacked when I wear these shirts. I have an interesting type body, a regular type body, in my opinion. Not the kind of body that you see everywhere where it's like V-shaped with big lats and chests and then tiny stomach. But what I do have is good shoulders and good arms. And I love a shirt that accentuates that and then takes care of the rest of my body. And True Classic makes the best shirts for that. I look jacked in the arms, jacked in the shoulders, and confident in the belly. From t-shirts and polos to activewear, denim, button-downs, hoodies, joggers, boxer briefs, and everything in between. They have everything you need. Time to upgrade your wardrobe today. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some awesome True Classic. So, for a limited time only, get 25% off with the code BERT at trueclassic.com. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with code BERT. Free shipping is included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free, guaranteed, with 30-day return policy, so you can't go wrong. It looks good, it feels good, and it's look good, feel good season, baby. We are supported by the Miss Pat Show on BET+. I have BET+. I'm telling you right now, Miss Pat's show is the best sitcom in television streaming ever. She is so honest. She is so raw. They did not skip any corners on any of this. It is Miss Pat to a T, and I'm telling you right now, this is the show you need to watch. You will absolutely love it. You love her on my podcast. You love her on Rogan. She's everything, and they don't miss the mark on this show. I'm telling you. Now streaming on BET+ is the mother of all sitcoms. Miss Pat is back and telling it like it is. This season, Miss Pat's career is taken off, and she's ready to hit the road on a stand-up comedy tour opening for one of her heroes. I'm in this season? I didn't know I was in this season. Oh, my gosh. This is so crazy. With her sister Denise acting as her assistant and manager, nothing is going to stop her from pursuing her dream, except maybe her sister, her new boss, and her kids, both the Medicaid and the Blue Cross Blue Shield ones. While protecting herself and her talent, Miss Pat will have to decide if fame should ever come before family. God, I love Miss Pat so much. An all-new episode. Oh, she's doing the cruise with us. Did you know that? Miss Pat's on the... Oh, I haven't announced it. Oh, yeah, I think I have. An all-new season of the hit comedy, The Miss Pat Show, is now streaming exclusively on BET+. Still don't have BET+? To learn more and join the millions who stream Black culture, visit BET.plus.
Then we went
Where's that?
to London to meet my friend Indira.
We've got like roughly 6 minutes left on this audio before we got swap cards. Would you want to start London up on the second card?
Take a break.
Yeah, started
Smart,
on the
smart.
second card. Yeah. This takes us to London, where we met up with Indira.
Indira.
Indira. What's her
She's a
last
good
name?
friend. Indira Varma. She's my good friend.
I want to take 2 seconds, and I know that I'm not sure this is how I'd want to. I would want to address Indira with how cool she was. Right?
Yeah, she's
but
amazing.
I would be remiss if I didn't say what an absolutely beautiful woman she was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
She has energy.
She has a quality to
she
her
is.
that is, she lights up the room. When people say that about people, she really is that person.
She really, they say people have, like, I will say Conor McGregor has it. Like that energy,
that it factor.
The it factor.
Yeah.
Will Smith has it.
Yep.
I remember when I first met Will Smith, I was like, wow, this guy's got it.
Same when I met him.
Man, breathtaking. Like
Yeah.
really, really just beautiful and cool and fun and chill. She's the kind of girl in 8th grade you fell in love with and you ended up staying out and your parents were like, where the fuck were you? And you're like, we were just at the park talking.
Yeah.
Like that's that energy. I mean,
I met her on Obi-Wan Kenobi working, and she ended up like infiltrating our friend group to the point where we were having these huge dinner parties at our house, bringing in her friends from all over the world and just having a blast. We had the best time.
so Indira
since I met her.
played, so you know, Indira played on Game of Thrones.
She's the mother of the sand snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So,
I can't remember the character's name, but
Ilaria
Ilaria.
She doesn't
Sad.
carry any ego around with her.
No.
she's
She brought us
phenomenal.
breakfast. She brought us breakfast.
sausage rolls. Yeah.
That were phenomenal.
We have a really hilarious clip of them commentating us going to the polar plunge that we never got edited. But we go to this lake. We go to this lake in London.
We go to a pond at Hampstead Heath.
What?
So
Oh, cool, man. I hope you get to show it to friends.
So she's been talking about this pond swim to me since 2021.
Heath's Mouth Pond.
Hampstead Heath. Hampstead Heath. Yeah. So she
Cold as fuck.
She started cold plunging with me and Antonia back in LA during Obi-Wan. Got addicted to it, and then she was like, "I'm going to this pond and swimming through the pond every morning with these older ladies," and I couldn't imagine really what she was talking about.
Oh, yes.
And she was like, "I want to take you guys on a cold plunge," and so we tried to work it out. We thought there was a co-ed pond at this one, but when she got there that morning, they weren't allowing us in. So the guys had to do their own, and then we went and did our own. But the difference is there's no sauna at this, right? So we're actually getting in freezing.
The ground was ice.
It was frozen.
Cold.
She actually tried to back out of it the day before. She was like, maybe we should just go to this like other indoor place.
We were talking on the phone with her, and I said, Indira. She goes, it might be covered with ice, and I said, Indira, if we're breaking ice, that's the content I want.
She was like, okay, my arm can be twisted. Let's go. And there we went.
Yeah.
She comes in with her friend. They brought us breakfast. We first go, and then we find out we have to go solo, guys and then girls. And so we go, and it is less than welcoming. I mean, the energy is fine. They were a little bit like, mate, you do it or you don't do it. Do it. It's cold. It's going to be cold.
They don't care.
But I'm not talking that, but it's just, when I say less than welcoming, it just was, everything was fucking cold. Nothing was indoors.
Right, so all the way. Also, the lifeguards were in jeans. Like they were ever going to come get you if something bad happened.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
okay, you're crazy.
Ben gets in first.
No, you got in first.
I did?
You did, yeah. We were,
And then me. And I yelled at Ben because he was like, just breathe. And I was pretty verbal about how dumb a statement.
Eat my asshole, Ben.
Something like that, yeah.
And then,
we can hear them. We're standing against the fence, like far
Like a
away, and
bunch
we
of
can hear
peeping
all of you
Toms.
guys screaming.
And then, the best part is Mark gets in and goes, oh, my asshole. And it echoes through the park.
Yeah, we hear it.
You hear it. And then Indira says, I noticed my asshole gets really cold.
Mine gets feels like
honest.
that too.
Yeah.
We have this all
It
on video.
grabbed my asshole. It grabbed it because I've had some stomach issues. So like I've been wiping a lot, you know? And when you wipe a lot, little cuts happen.
Inflamed. It's a little inflamed.
Little cuts happen. Yeah. So when I hop into that pond.
Can I break for a minute?
Yeah.
Are you guys watching this? I keep thinking every time that goes down, these colors, I think it's someone jumping. It's in my periphery.
Oh, God.
I think it's someone falling off a building.
Someone's committing
This
suicide.
entire time I've been going, God damn it. God damn it. All right. So we go into the pond. We go to see if we can watch the women go in the pond. That's what we're really looking for. I say at one point, I don't know if Mance will greenlight me saying this, but I say at one point, do you think Stacy or Lacie recorded this? Recorded Indira in a bikini, and Mance goes, if she knows how to do her fucking job.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think?
We're only here for
Lacie?
one reason, goddammit. Keep walking.
Everyone's mad because I promised them Indira in a swimsuit.
I got to be honest with you.
Instead, we got her in a puffy coat and Air Jordans.
Said she got you breakfast, and she was lovely.
She was awesome.
Meanwhile,
I really liked her.
We go in there, and it's nothing but 60-year-old plus women, older women, naked.
One girl's got an amputee, right?
No, yeah, one leg. No problem. And our side is so cold; they have broken the ice to get in. And these women are just like diehards going in multiple times.
Yeah, but if you're missing one leg, that's just like one less
thing to be
cold. So honestly, I feel like that's
you're trying
cheating.
to lose the other one if you ask me.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
lost
cheating.
my dick every single time I hopped into there.
That was the coldest plunge we'd done.
I couldn't get it out of my bones.
And then, there was nowhere to warm up. There was no like.
And this is where
hot
Lacie
area.
got sick. This is when Lacie legit got sick.
This is
because we
where-
drove to Glasgow. We did 2 shows in London, right?
Well, no, we went to the box. I think it was a combination of
hold
that.
on. We haven't
This is
talked
all
about,
in one day.
We haven't. Hold on. We
This
haven't
was all
talked
in
about
one day.
Amsterdam. We haven't talked about the box.
All in one day. So we go to Hampstead Heath that morning, and then I think that's the day after, right? That was after.
It's the day after. We go to Hampstead Heath that morning. We go to
You guys have a show.
do a show at the Apollo in London. Way less black
which went
people than I
late. It
thought
went
there
till
would
like
be.
11 p.m. It was a late
it
show.
was a late show. And then we go to the box. This is one of the reasons. I mean, look, there's many reasons I love Lacie, and it's the truth. And and I'm saying like in like a very, very, very cool, and I understand that we have a work relationship, but a cool friend.
Thank you.
Is well, there's many reasons. Like I there's a lot of times we have moments where I go, like yesterday when I was getting all that shit out of my clothes, and I go, does this look brown? And you went, are you being serious? And so Lacie says, I know this place that I've had other people I worked with have gone, and
I've never not had the time of my life.
And she said it is fucking wild. We should
debauchery.
go. And Indira was like, you have to go in. And I think Indira was gonna go with us at first, but they're doing sober January.
Yeah.
So she was like, you know,
and it was a Thursday night that we were going. She has a daughter.
Oh yeah.
So we all go to this place called The Box. Now, if you're listening to any part of this podcast, this is what you want to clip out, and this is the travel log you need.
You need to go here.
The Box is in Soho.
And it's like top secret, no sign,
No
nothing.
sign.
You have to know.
We walked by it the other day. There's
Didn't
no
even know
sign
that.
on the door. You don't even know.
You have to know about it.
They sell poppers to the left, poppers to the right, and we
an
get
alley.
in line, and they recognize us, and they're like, "Oh, we got you a table." Lacie had set everything up, and we're like, and by the way, we do not know what to expect. We are like, Lacey's like saying, it's wild, it's crazy. Anything you expect, it's going to be bigger than that.
Yeah, and it's a cabaret
and I was a little
show.
nervous because I know that you should have a couple drinks before you go in there. And we're
we
going
walked in
over
stone sober.
stone cold from the show, and everyone's
Yeah.
kind of in a like grumpy mood because we're tired and we iced earlier that morning.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
like,
also, like,
this vibe is going to be weird.
A lot of us are not like club people.
Yeah.
It is a
You are.
I
Yeah.
am.
But yeah, but
You
But
are.
I don't like being at the club, but I love like dancing and like if they're playing like some house or some hip hop, like I love just being in the club,
Yeah.
just getting a little jiggy
the
with
vibe.
it, you know?
Well, we arrived pretty late too, so the party had already really
Jiggy.
started.
yeah, Will Smith.
And it was
yeah.
like
no, I know. I'm
bumping.
familiar with the term. I like to get crunk, you know?
Yeah.
So
I get jiggy with it from time to time.
Don't have a cow, dude.
Welcome to Miami.
cow.
Welcome to Miami, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen, if Jimmy's going to crack corn, I'll crack it too.
So I see everybody doing the
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a dud. There are 100 beautiful women there.
Like models.
That's an understatement.
Models.
That's an
Models.
understatement. And they're all right at the age, like 22, 25.
Models.
Where like, theoretically, I would argue that is not when a woman's in her prime, but I think visually for most
yes,
men,
yes.
they think that's when they're at their prime.
this is your Maxim magazine.
Yeah,
guy.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they are without a doubt the most beautiful women you're looking at, and I'm talking. You want to talk about a fucking a chocolate box full of different flavors of women. We have
Also men
blonde
that were-
women.
Yeah.
We have blonde women. We have dark-haired women. We have Jewish women. We have
chocolate
black
women.
We have dark black women like I am your captain now women. Like we have, and they are all fucking gorgeous. I have often thought I have a specific taste in women. I do not. I
have no type.
I thought I had a type. I do not have a type.
Yeah.
There was
a goth model there. And she
Dude,
was-
they
yeah.
were fucking beautiful. And so we get a great table right by the stage.
like
All
a
the women
catwalk.
are catwalk.
Yeah.
All the women are dancing on the stage, and
I'm looking at you, and your face is like this.
They're annoyed. I see annoyance.
I'm looking at man's going like this. Then after a little bit, the tray of alcohol comes
Yeah,
out.
this is a great moment.
And I look at Bert, and as soon as he sees the alcohol, he's like,
his eyes get excited.
his eyes get a little bigger, right?
The sparkle
and I go,
comes
Lacie,
in.
check that out. So okay, now we're easing in. Then the show starts. Yeah, the bottle of
Also,
vodka.
this waitress was the worst goddamn
Oh,
waitress.
she's a
Well,
bottle
she
service
wasn't.
waitress.
that's the
What do
way
you
you're going to
expect?
describe her. She was one of the most beautiful women
yeah.
that Pete has fallen in love with ever in his life.
Remember it.
I know because you followed her into the dressing room.
Yeah, you did.
That's a little trouble.
That's a little troubling. Pete was like, "Man, I wonder if I can get back there." All right.
Well, we were all like waiting forever to get drinks. So when she was like taking her time to pour
She
everything,
had a whole method that she was
She
doing.
brought
to
out
not
a bottle
spill
of
it.
vodka and a bottle of
Useless.
tequila, poured us shots, and then herself one as well. We all took shots, and then poured us drinks, and then everyone starts to chillax, and Mance is sitting like on his heel, and he's like,
chillax.
"Yeah."
And you're gonna hit him for
Jiggy?
fucking-
Yeah,
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 You're using
yeah.
chillax.
So
okay.
I don't know the right way to say
You're the
this.
bee's knees, Daddy-O.
What a fly nightclub.
The show starts and it's a guy and a girl and they're fighting. Is that what the first one
The guy's
was? By the
playing
way,
video games.
spoiler alert. So I don't want to ruin.
Yeah, we shouldn't tell the full.
Don't give away the show.
The show. I don't want to ruin the show, but I think we have to share certain
bit, yeah.
aspects of the show so that people
maybe
know.
maybe just one.
Which one?
So there was
I would say
you
the
guys,
12-inch one.
Yeah. This is my.
I would say the brown one.
This is my favorite thing. No, don't say that one.
Which
Okay.
are related.
This is my favorite thing about the box is you can take people there, they don't know what they're getting into, and then you can just watch their faces and their eyes get wide as you see things you can't unsee.
Just
and
go
that's
on.
the best way to
It's
describe
beautiful. It's right. Like me and
Yeah, it's
Shane
not
were
raunchy.
I
moving.
would not sit up front close to the stage.
No.
There were a
I
couple
would get a
of-
seat on the catwalk or further away or
Yeah.
just stand against a wall.
Yeah.
There were a couple of performances that were like actually
Beautiful.
it like yeah,
It
like
moved.
The
and-
oogly
Yeah.
googly.
and,
Yeah. Well, there's acrobats. It's a sideshow that is very sexual.
Yeah.
But it's all
It's a
Yes.
sideshow that is
it's
sexual
not
in nature.
just shock.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just shock.
shock. But if you're looking for shock, you could also
There'll be
find
something.
it.
No, it has that.
I don't want to ruin their show because it's that good.
It was
and
great.
It's that entertaining and it's worth it. It's worth it because you won't stop talking about it for a fucking week.
You'll never forget it.
You'll never forget it.
Fucking lifetime.
Amazing performers.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's called The Box. It's in London. They have one in New York.
There's one in New York as well. Yeah.
And it is well worth seeing. I wouldn't bring your parents to it.
No.
I think this is a
Or
thing.
your kids.
Or your kids.
Or your
Yeah.
kids. I think it,
It's a select group that you're very comfortable with. And I think we're all
money
closer
to
now.
have accidentally gone to this with Leanne and Georgia. And Ella.
Oh God, no. Oh God,
I would
no.
pay fucking.
Would you take
money.
them to that?
I would in a heartbeat.
That's so good.
And
I wish
so-
Sandy was there with us. Actually, that would have been.
Well, hang on. Let's recap about who had the best time at the
Yeah.
box.
Oh.
Well, let's just tell the moment that, like, I think when we knew everything turned was after the second act, and Mans grabbed my leg and went, Lacie! And he was like, you knew this was going to be so awesome. And I was like, yeah, I
He
know.
was bawling.
and then he started crying.
He was bawling, crying.
He started crying, and he
I cried at the end of the trip, and Mans cried during the sex show.
It was awesome.
It
was
was
so good.
fucking
It was so good,
phenomenal.
Lacie.
If you have an opportunity to go to the box in London or in New York, I would take that opportunity.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it is fucking insane.
It's always
was-
different. You'll never see the same show.
I
I
was
can vouch for it.
hammered. Both me and Lacie got fucking. First of all, Bert was just operating on regular basis, right?
Yeah,
I didn't get too
You
hammered.
were
No,
fine.
I
You
was
were
just
fine.
trying to keep up with them at this point.
When we left,
both me and Lacie slept in the
in
shower.
the shower.
Or
Different
separate
showers. Different showers.
Separate showers. But I got into my hotel room and I tried to lay down and my body said, nah, dog,
Yeah.
you're not on a boat, but it feels like you are. And I literally had to stick my fingers down my throat like I was a senior in high school because I drank too much, and then just got in the shower, took a seat, and closed my fucking eyes. And probably woke up 25 to 30 minutes later,
Yeah.
still fucking
In
showered.
the shower.
That's crazy. We woke up the next morning. We had a great day. We went for
Yeah.
a 5-mile walk. Walk to the Apollo.
You had 7 Zoom calls?
Yeah,
You walked like 15,000 steps.
I
'cause
walked
you were-
15,000 steps. I was pacing while you guys waited for me.
Doing
Yeah.
radio.
We went. We had a great lunch. Had a great lunch. We do another show at the Apollo, right? I don't think I'm. Indira comes.
She came already. She
She'd already
was
come to that
there.
show.
Yeah.
We do the
The
show
night
at the
before.
Apollo. We hop on the road. We go to Glasgow, right?
Yes.
We go to Glasgow. We have a Glasgow. We have a great fucking bus ride. I love those bus rides.
You had a great lunch.
That's where I proceed
Where do we have in
to
lunch?
get. This is where it starts to hit me.
Oh, this is when Lacie gets sick.
Yeah, and we had a great. Remember, we had a great lunch at the Greenpeace bunker.
Oh yeah, Ben. So
Our kraut takes his schnitzel licking fingers and says, "This would be a good
This
place."
Lindbergh
he was so excited about that restaurant, and he was like, "Okay, you stay here and sleep."
went to a vegan restaurant in Glasgow, which is really kind of our own fault for thinking that would be a decent meal.
We
For these
all
people
got-
who are famous for boiling their meat in a sheep's stomach.
Yeah.
He sent me a text like, "Little do they know I took them to a vegan restaurant."
Well, I
And
sent a
was
text
like-
and I said, "You're so lucky you have a chest infection because Ben tricked us into eating a vegan restaurant.
I actually liked it.
I hated it.
I liked
I hated it. I hated it so much that when I said, "Wait, is this a vegetarian restaurant?" The guy goes, "Vegan." I went, "Huh?"
You guys were pissed.
Yeah, and then we bought beanies. I bought this beanie at a great skate shop called.
What was that place called?
It's written on. It's right there.
Route 1.
Route 1.
Route 1. It was a great skate shop. They were cool as fuck.
They were.
We went back. We did an amazing show in Glasgow. I mean, I say
Loved
amazing.
it.
I'm not saying that we were like phenomenal. It's just like these crowds.
No, we were great. We were probably God's gift to comedy. We were just
Nailed it.
absolute the best comedians ever to grace the earth during these shows.
The crowds at these shows were fucking insane.
Scotland was so much fun.
Is this when we had Cena on our bus?
Yeah, you had Cena.
We got Cena. It was Cena's birthday. Mm-hmm. We lost Lacie and gained Cena. Mm-hmm. And Lacie flew and met up with us in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And we took the bus from Glasgow to fucking Amsterdam.
You went to Glasgow to Newcastle.
We did?
Yeah.
Amsterdam,
I
man.
slept through that. And then we all met up in Amsterdam.
Poor Newcastle people have listened this whole way and they're like, but what about us?
that crowd though, that show was hot.
That show was hot.
Yeah.
That show was
that
hot.
was a hot show, and the room was great for it too.
think you guys had to drive.
And then let's just get to Amsterdam because this
Please,
is going to
let's
be
get
a
to
4-hour
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
fucking podcast.
Yeah.
And
How
then
long
we
have we gone
arrived.
so far?
Be like an hour 40.
That's it?
No, we're getting there.
We've only recorded for an hour and 40?
That makes sense. It makes sense.
We get to
Yeah.
Amsterdam. We stay at a place called The Grand.
Sophie's house.
Another amazing fucking hotel.
Dude,
That was
we
my
walked into
favorite
the
room.
courtyard, and everyone just went, "Holy shit!" And Bert just goes, "Yeah, enjoy it, guys. Another great hotel for you. Oh, baby, can't wait for this one." It was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
had a butler.
Bert. Yeah.
We had to get on the ferry to get there. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, you guys
the
rode on a
ferry was
ferry.
We took the bus into the ferry, and then,
And then we had breakfast on the ferry.
yeah, and you guys were like, "This was the worst meal I've ever."
it
It was the
gross.
worst meal I've ever had in my entire life.
Maybe don't eat breakfast on ferries.
The
Yeah.
bus on the
I had
ferry.
oatmeal.
Ugh.
But we get to Amsterdam. We go to the Grand. I think we did a read. Oh,
You did an announcement.
we had a real quick turnaround because we had to do a read to post on Instagram to announce that we were taking KFC to Amsterdam. And so we do that read, we post that read, we go back to we get to our hotel. But this is all before we get to the hotel. We've bought we've already bought weed, and we're like getting back to the hotel. And the first thing they do is introduce me to my butler, and my eyes roll. I'm like, how fucking much is this cost? They're like, you're in the Napoleon suite, and I go, all right, he's named after an emperor. And so I go up to my room. My room is fucking amazing.
Several
Yeah, it
rooms.
was
There's
a
a
cool-
reading
Several
room
rooms.
in the
There's
room.
a reading room. There's
There's
a living room. There's a place to watch television.
There's a
Rooftop
dining
deck.
area.
There's a dining area. it's fucking
A
insane.
deck, yeah, an
Rooftop
upstairs deck.
Yeah, and so
Well, I had already gotten into 2 verbal altercations right off the bus. I had smoked weed for the first time in like 6 days, and somehow got angry, and got into 2 verbal altercations right next door to each other while we were doing laundry.
We took bikes from the hotel to go do laundry because we were. Again, this was the problem with our carry-on ideas. That
Nobody had
we
clothes.
had to do laundry every other day.
yeah,
and
so
so
we biked over, and
I tried to get change from
there
a
was no
place.
change from the ATM was broken, and then Mark yelled at small business owners on the street.
One was a gay small business owner. The
Oh,
other
yeah,
was a
they
weed.
deserve it.
Yeah. So, and then after that happened, Shane was like, "Man, you're hitting the fucking gambit." He's like,
Because we forgot about the plane.
"Oh yeah." I yelled at an old lady in a wheelchair. I didn't yell at her. I yelled like around her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure that made her feel safe.
Yeah.
but when we went to Amsterdam, we had a great day,
Oh,
great
Amsterdam.
night. We had a great dinner that night,
Yeah.
and then the next morning was Winston Churchill Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, my wife hit it out of the park for the first Winston Churchill Day. But motherfucker, if Mance and Peter didn't murder this Winston Churchill Day, full on breakfast in bed, 3 poached eggs, bacon, fruit, toast, croissant, jam,
Orange juice.
orange juice, coffee,
scotch
with soft scotch.
This is clearly one of the days we didn't make it to the gym.
Tasha shows up. We hang out. Me, Mark, and Tasha hang out. Peter starts laundry. We come back, and we have a full-blown fun fucking day in Amsterdam.
It was so awesome.
In the middle of the day, we took a boat around Amsterdam. It was a fucking fun day.
God damn, that was awesome.
Not to make too much of a meal out of it, because I want you to watch the whatchamacallit, the doc that we're going to put out. We had a great fucking night and great day in Amsterdam. Coupled by the fact with the next morning, the KFC radio guys showed up at 9 in the fucking morning.
With Maddie Smith.
Maddie Smith, yes.
Dressed in red. That podcast speaks for itself. Go listen to that podcast. We won't recap because that podcast is out.
They were cool
Amsterdam.
dudes.
Amsterdam was
They were
my
cool
favorite.
dudes.
Amsterdam was my favorite place.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I mean,
love
like,
it.
dude, to just every other street corner is just weed, coffee, pastries. So you can just go, you get high, you drink some coffee, you eat some pastries, then you're kind of like tired, then you drink some coffee, get high again. Like you can, it's just the cycle of a beautiful city. The whole bike lane is a whole city in itself. I fucking loved that place. That's a place where I feel like I could
You could
not
live there.
retire.
You could live there.
Maui and Amsterdam are the two only places that I've left and was like almost crying. Like I was like, I don't ever want to leave this place. It was so cool.
It was so stimulating. Just outside of all of the like intake from like food and drugs and
it just stimulates.
yeah, like you feel it's vibrant.
It's very vibrant.
Yeah,
it was like, I mean, when we rode bikes, that was so fun, dog.
Yeah.
Like it was so cool to just ride bikes at night and you're just zooming. No one stops. No one gives a shit.
and there are a million bicycles.
There's a million bicyclists. It is a little dangerous that they put the weed shops so close to the bike lane. It's like, why are you going to put them like this close? You know, it's like they want tourists. I'll say this. They don't like tourists there. So by the third time that I figured out that the people that were talking to me and taking my money, the way they were talking to me wasn't slighting me. It was just slighting all tourists.
All tourists.
I was fine with it. I was like, fine, it's New York in that way. You could be a dick. That's okay.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, they're just treating me like shit. But no, they treat everyone like shit.
How much can you assess? I had this epiphany when everyone got to know Tasha and we're sitting there. KFC radio's there, Kevin and John, Pete, Lacie, Tasha, Maddie, Shane, Mark, and Mance, and we're all hanging out, and we're in the fucking canal in the red light district, going into a bar, and we are laughing hysterically. How awesome am I at fucking scouting talent?
Dog, you put together
I have a good eye for good
dream
people.
team.
It was
a
good
dream team.
I can spot out like when everyone fell in love with Tasha at the same time.
She was
kinda.
great, dude. She
and
was
I
the
was so
best.
happy that everyone felt because.
Should we say who she is?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was like, no.
Tasha was a chick
Tasha
from
in the red light district.
Yeah.
Tasha was a chick
Sorry,
from
Tosh.
Norway or Stockholm.
So Tasha was my assistant for The Machine. She was my assistant for the entire the movie. She was she greeted me every day when I got to set. She got me out of set every day when I had to leave and fly back to a state. She came to my house and helped me pack up. She planned parties with me. She was my right hand man, and I legit fucking love that kid. And in like every the same way I feel about Pete, I feel about her. Identical. They're the same people. So much so I wanted them to get pregnant. But when you get parts of her personality and she'd be funny.
Oh my God.
I got so excited because I was like
killing me. Dude.
she's a funny fucking person. She's the part of Pete. Here's why they'd make a good couple, in my opinion, is the part of Pete that is going to be the dad that goes, hey, put that down. We're not buying it. Let's go. Everyone get out of here. Come on, everyone.
She's the opposite.
She is the exact fucking opposite. Yeah, Tasha's business plan. If anyone's listening,
Dude, she was telling me
Tasha's-
about this business plan. It was
I
so
shouldn't
funny,
even.
dude.
I don't think it's
You
a
shouldn't
plan.
tell her business plan. I don't know. What if someone steals it?
It's not a business plan.
Yeah.
She's looking for $25,000 from an investor so she can make large 4-leaf clovers and give them to people.
Yeah, but dude, this
So
was
basically, you'll be investing $25,000 in luck.
well. She said to me that she was like, at first you had like offered her a job, and then she was like, oh, like you were like, how much do you need? And she was like, oh, I need this much.
$50,000 is what she said.
Yeah, and you were like, that's insane. You need to shoot higher, right?
Yeah.
And so then later she comes with the 4-leaf clover plan, and she's like, all right, now I'm going to shoot my shot, right? Like, all right, I'm going to ask $20,000. You went, absolutely not. She was like, fuck, goddamn.
Yeah. She came to me and I said, I honestly, I'll never say a bad word about this kid. I will definitely, if you want to call him, I can tell you where you're fucking up. I can tell you that. But like she, I said to her on set, I said, name your price and I'll pay it and you'll move to LA. Mm-hmm. And she said, I can name any price. And I said, yeah. She goes, okay. Give me a minute. Yeah. She comes back later in the day and she goes, $50,000. And I went, it needs to be double.
It was
that.
like Austin Powers.
Leanne was with me. And Leanne goes, $50,000? Honey, it's got to be more than that. Yeah. And then she goes, what? She goes, it's got to be more than that. You can't live in LA for $50,000. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck are you doing? Get her for $50,000. It'd be like an au pair.
I love this kid. Don't give her a raise.
Yes. It was like Austin Powers, like Dr. Evil, like $1 million. And they're like,
and
no,
then
dog.
Tosh comes back and she goes, oh, I have a better idea.
Yeah.
For $20,000. What if we start a business where I give people 4-leaf clovers? And then I went, and then how do we make money? Kale was next to me. He goes, how do you make money off this? She goes, no, you just give people 40 clovers. And I go, absolutely not. And then we talked. Me and Tasha talked, and Leanne offered her a job. Leanne wanted her to work for her, and I said to Tasha, I said, go to Amsterdam, be an artist, follow your dreams. This is what you need. What are you laughing at?
There's no money to me.
There's no money.
Business.
Yeah.
That is just
giving away
luck.
It's the fucking.
And then you kind of think about it like, well, what could be luckier in some sense than giving luck to everyone? You know? By the
way, this isn't a bad business plan for me because I believe in luck.
Yeah. Because what if it comes back? All those people you give 4-leaf clovers to then end up like doing something for you.
It is she. And then I told her, I said, you need to go to Amsterdam, and if you have one shot at being an artist, you should follow your dream of being an artist. And she definitely is, and she's thriving in Amsterdam. She's loving it.
Yeah, she loves you too. Like she speaks so highly of you, and I think you not denying her the job, but pushing her in the right direction. Like,
well, as a comic, you could never tell another person that wants to be an artist to not follow their dreams. Yeah, you got to follow your dreams. I'm only here because I follow my dreams. If you ask me, I go follow your dreams, follow your fucking dreams. Don't fucking take a job. Kale offered her a job at Legendary. I mean, the kid is
she's going to succeed.
She's going to succeed. Whoever fucking gets to work with this kid is going to fucking It's like just like Pete. It's just like Pete. She's a fucking gangster. Pete's a gangster.
She got us all smoking Serbian fucking cigarettes.
Pete now smokes cigarettes.
You know what she looked like? I don't know if you saw White Lotus season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like her. You're right.
She dressed like that chick. She was always wearing this like matching crazy outfit. Her cigarette packs matched her outfit.
She was like a young Kathleen Turner.
Yeah, when she told me, she was like, when I first got the Legendary, she goes, oh, I'm going to work with Legendary. This is before she got signed on for the movie. And she was like, yeah, and I saw Legendary, and I just thought Leonardo DiCaprio. That's who I'm going to get to work with. And then this guy shows up. But like, she was like, it was the best thing that ever happened.
Her mom's hot.
Oh, I can only imagine. I bet your mom's like
attractive.
32.
Her mom's 50. Her mom's fucking 50. Her mom's.
Yeah, I fell in love a lot on this trip. The host from the boat.
Oh yeah, ISIS.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, are we really just sizing up women?
Basically.
It
Most
was
of
the
this
whole trip.
podcast
We're
has
all
been like,
lonely and
and
horny.
the women there were so
Hang on.
Lonely and horny.
That's
The
worth,
box description,
That's
like,
worth getting a
you're
screen
the
grab
record
of this
For the record.
lawyer who was side hustling as a bartender on a boat.
Yeah.
She was
Smart,
funny. She looked like a living mun. She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
She was very pretty. What were you saying, Lacie?
I was saying like that was like the box description. I'm like, for the record, there are also men there, and like
Were you attracted to the captain?
Yeah.
cute guys in little mini skirts, stuff like that. But that wasn't. No, we were just laughing about how we're just
All we talked about,
objectifying
yeah.
women.
There was nothing but...
I wouldn't say objectifying. I would say conquering.
Yeah.
Or
complimenting.
complimentary.
Oogling.
Oogling. Everywhere we go, there's a lot of oogling.
Ogling?
Oogling?
Oogling, ogling.
Oogle.
Ogle.
No, it's oogle.
It's
Oogle.
louver in the
It's
snoog.
louver and the oogler, bro.
Louver in the snoog.
Should we talk about the game Dibs?
CBS.
Talk about the game Dibs.
Yeah, Dibs is an interesting game.
Dibs
We'll lightly...
Dibs is just it's a game that
it's a
you used to
hat
play
nod.
with your friends, like when you would see like a car in the middle of the street and you would like someone driving by like in a nice car, you'd be like, that's my car right there. And so you see a beautiful woman or a hot dude and you go Dibs.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Me and John Feidelberg definitely dibs the dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, the fucking
Which
gorgeous guy we gave a cigarette to. You don't remember that guy?
No.
Beautiful. He was wearing Air Force Ones, light jeans.
I'm
light
sorry.
jeans,
Shit.
God damn it.
I did not see that. Where?
in
At the
Amsterdam. In Amsterdam.
I was
Yeah.
probably.
Is that when Mark OD'd?
It's
Yeah,
so
that was
fun.
when
It
I
bummed me
OD'd.
out because I couldn't play dibs because I don't objectify women. Anyway,
Oh, you're such a fucking prick.
I had a couple dibs against you guys.
Yes.
They were like
Yeah.
there was some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen on this trip, and it's crazy. It's crazy. What is there? The thing about a beautiful woman in Europe is
We just don't get him out here.
they're unassuming.
What the fuck?
Who is it?
There's a silent
Brother,
button.
I got
It's like you should answer this call.
What does it matter?
I don't know. If he's calling me, something's not right. It's
Okay.
Money.
The beauty, like our bartender was a bartender, but she was also a lawyer, and she was gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
ISIS, you mean? Do what? Oh, pull up. You mean ISIS? Oh, thank you, Mance. Her name was ISIS.
Name is Isis. She's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Tell me. Yeah, I'll
All right.
definitely get
Where
to
are we
some
at?
of the workouts in this situation.
It was a simple bus ride. That was the whole day. And then
Well, no, hold on. We had a simple bus ride. This is when I got sick. So I aspirate, which I didn't realize how much affected my health. And so we had a bus ride that night. We did a show in Antwerp, which was awesome. Antwerp was gorgeous. We had a great day in Antwerp.
Yeah, we had fun there.
That's when everyone pointed out how much I talked about Hitler.
Yeah.
And then
Non-stop.
I missed that.
Non-stop.
and then
you missed that whole day.
that's
Yeah.
when
All
you
day.
ate edibles and slept the whole
The
fucking day.
whole,
17 hours.
the whole. I did not like Antwerp. I just didn't.
You weren't awake.
No, I went. I got Hector's chicken. I walked around the city. I got a little currency
that's right.
exchange, and then I was like, "This feels like North Philadelphia," and I don't really like it. Oh yeah, he hated it. He was like,
yeah.
but
Because all the people they tried to get rid of ended up there.
Oh, you should have heard what Yurt said about it. Dude, Yurt goes, I don't know if we'll cut it out. Yurt goes, yes, it's multicultural, but in a bad way. And he goes, a lot of diamond stores, a lot of Jews.
That's why, technically, Mark Norman and I learned this when we went to Antwerp, is the reason that the majority of Europeans don't like Antwerp is because it's very multicultural.
Yeah.
And I was like, just say it. Just say that you don't like it because it's not all white.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't care. I liked Antwerp. I had a good time. I had a really good
Good.
time. I find Antwerp beautiful. I thought it was
Yeah, we
really
saw a
cool.
castle. We walked around. Beautiful old buildings.
I don't have one
Statues.
place that I didn't like, and I mean being dead serious, and I don't mean that as like a patsy or like a fucking. I don't have an opinion, but like
Every place
loved.
was really cool.
It's the funnest fucking time of my life. It's the funnest time of my life. Tim Dillon said something to me once where he goes, "Why would you ever have anxiety? You're on the mountaintop. You're on the fucking mountaintop. It doesn't get better. No one told you to quit drinking yet. You got all the money in the
so
world. You can fucking you're selling tickets. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Every day you should wake up and go, I'm getting after it."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. Antwerp was amazing. We didn't get a hotel. We stayed in the bus, which I fucking loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then
We had to do
saved
it
money. We
overnight.
saved money. And then
Before we skip, is someone mentioning that waiter at that restaurant?
Oh man, yeah, we kept it. So we go early to the restaurant because you guys are like seeing fans or whatever, and we try to order drinks and appetizers, And he's like, if it's not on the menu, you can't have it. And basically just
Oh yeah, Bert
will not allow us to have anything.
Bert and him. Well, I kind of got into it a little bit, but I checked myself.
Man's ordered a whiskey with ice, and he goes, "Be a man."
Yeah, and he comes over and he's just like, "Time to grow up," and just hands him no ice drink. And then Peter's like, "Can I get extra ice for my drink?" And
The food
like,
was fucking great, though.
Yeah, the
It
food
was.
I don't
was-
think we had a bad meal this entire time, other than when I got food poisoning in Stockholm.
the vegan one you didn't like. The vegan one.
we had a lot of amazing meals.
And so we have a great dinner in Antwerp. We get on a bus, and our option is we can lie and say we're off the bus and sleep on the bus. But in which case, if this ship goes down, you go down with the bus. There's no getting out of that
They lock the
apartment.
doors.
They lock the doors, or you can get off the bus, hang out with everyone else that is trying to illegally get into Europe, and hang out. So we decided to get off the bus, go up, smoke cigars. Smoke cigars and drink scotch
on the back of a
on the back of a
boat,
fucking ferry.
on the back of a ferry at 3 o'clock
3
in the morning with a bunch of Ukrainian refugees, like just
Bunch of cologne loving fucking.
dude, just right out the duty free store, and we are just smoking with them and drinking with them.
Yeah,
It was nice.
it was
a nice
actually
little-
beautiful. We pulled in. We drove into
England.
Manchester. We did another show in Manchester. Did another show in Birmingham. We're here in
And
London.
that brings us to the workout, the rowing workout. So these guys decide to challenge Ben. This whole time they're talking about how they're going to fight Ben, right? Because
Well,
Ben does
Ben's
jujitsu.
a blue belt or purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And so I said, and he's a good-looking dude, but he's in great shape. When we did our first rowing challenge, it was for a 500 meter, 250 meter, and Ben smoked us.
Yeah, he
He's like
lapped-
the perfect
he
body
lapped
type
me. He lapped
for
me.
a row. He's tall.
He smoked your ass.
He's
Pete.
fit. He's the perfect
He
body type
smoked
for rowing.
and
And
so,
he's like, "Oh, I haven't rowed in a long time."
and then we said at one point we're gonna attack him and see if he could beat us up. We'll all attack him at the same time. He won't see it coming. And then I said, well, let's just do a rowing challenge. And so Ben goes, easy peasy, 2,000 meters. And we were like, done. And then I was like, everyone's like, done. And I go, no one knows how long 2,000 meters is.
Yeah.
We're
Also,
gonna
that
be
would
rowing-
take us like 2 hours to
Yeah,
with
we're
one
all
rower.
going to be rowing we will be rowing for
10
12
minutes each, yep.
And he's going to row for 8 minutes. And I go, no. And then he goes, why don't we take on all you? And then somehow we got the fucking stupid idea that we would all,
It was a great idea.
it was a great idea, actually. We would all go and switch out every 200 meters, and we would try to take Ben, and he would just go by himself. I
So we get in there.
laughed a lot this trip, but man, I don't think I've laughed harder than when Mark rode.
First of all, we practice like pit crew style. So we set it up so that people can clip each other in and out. There's no delay.
Shane
Because
was
that's what's gonna
so
kill us on the
bad
time.
at this. Shane does. I don't know. I can't. It's hard to explain. You just witnessed it happen with his phone. Like he does fast finger stuff where he hit, and then all of a sudden he's turned the volume up on his phone instead of turning it off and it gets
Yeah.
louder. He tried to unclip Mark the first time and unclipped the entire thing
Fold the
that you
tire.
had to fucking. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
dude,
we're like,
it's literally when you loosen, you press down on one thing. When you tighten, you pull up on one thing. When he tried to loosen me, he tried to grab my foot and like maneuver it in a way that was unmaneuverable. Like I watched the video of it, and it looked like he was trying to figure out a fucking Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
And it was just a strap. It's just a strap, just a single strap. Mind you, I'm not even wearing shoes the first time because I was like, this will be easier to get in and out of.
The best
by the
part
way,
is
it
that
was-
you're
it was
talking
right.
shit,
Yeah.
and then what really happened is you get in no shoes.
And I was like, dude, at this point, I had been working out. I
been
had
rowing
improved my
all trip?
rowing. I was rowing, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna beat my
you
time.
worked out a lot this trip.
Yeah. And I did not end up beating my time. In fact, I ended up becoming a
Filleted yourself.
laughing stock of the gym and fitness community.
It was. I sent it to Leanne, and Leanne goes, "That's not real." It is so funny that it's worth
Check it out.
If Halston, if you can post it, it is so funny. But
Yeah,
my
if you can
laugh,
post
my
his
laugh.
His laugh is just.
Bert wheezes for a good 5 minutes.
Well, because I hop in and I try to do it, and I immediately I'm trying to do it too fast, which I think probably hurt my back now too. But I'm like yanking it, and then all of a sudden my ass is on fucking steel bar.
You came up on your toes. So you rode yourself right off.
and
of the
you know
seat.
why I came up on my toes? Because fucking old Shaney boy can't figure out a goddamn pulley system. And he had me just rowing barefoot. So I'm just, boom, in my asshole. Then I sit back down. I try to do it again, into my asshole.
Same thing.
Then we do like all right, let's restart. And let's have Mark
Let's
go
have
first.
Mark go first. That way we don't have to worry about transitioning him.
Yeah. So Mark goes first, and I get super ready. And I'm ready. The clock starts. They leave it on like 9, so it's like very heavy for me to pull. And I just like immediately plop onto the ass again. And it's just like, it's frustrating. It's embarrassing.
Have you ever seen a firework dub where it goes?
Yeah. Have you play ice hockey? Sometimes you hop on the ice and your skate guards are on, and you just I look like a fucking baby deer being born. I did it again.
Ben's in the background, like on the bike, trying to stay warm.
Oh, he was.
I laughed so fucking hard. I laughed so fucking hard. It was
hilarious. And then he easily.
No, he destroyed us.
He had the benefit of looking at what the average pace was since he went second. So he knew he just had to keep it there. It wasn't easy for him, I think, but he's perfectly built for it, so he didn't have to push that hard.
Oh no, he hopped on that rowing machine and within 7 seconds, I was like, "We're done.
It's over. It's over. It's
Because
over.
he just had this long professional rowing pace,
That was perfect.
just athletic.
We've been in this bar all fucking day. All right, we should wrap this up. We are in London. This is the end of the story. We did a great fucking job. We have a great hotel room. We got to London last night. We had a fantastic dinner at a Russian restaurant. When I say authentic, it was so authentic, we weren't welcomed. And
And
by
you
the way,
guys were the quietest?
my energy, you got to see my real energy when I was in Russia.
I have never seen you that quiet ever.
Yeah.
And it was
I was very
you
scared.
guys were terrified in your
Yeah.
seats.
It was a great dinner. What are we going to do for dinner tonight? And are we going bar hopping now?
We're gonna
Yeah, let's go.
work out.
No, Lace, come on. You haven't. Come on. We're not going to work out. It's 5:00 at night. It's 5:18. I want to eat Indian food.
Yeah.
I want to
Best
eat Indian
in the-
food, and I would like to walk around. I kind of want to buy something.
I want to buy something as well.
Oh shit! What are they gonna buy?
Where's Regency
Tune
Street?
in next time.
I'm gonna buy
Regency
acupuncture
Street?
for my fucking back.
I want to say Shane's not here, so I'll answer for him. All right, dude. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Shane's got two speeds. He's got sexy Shane and then Shane.
It's like, Shane, are you gonna drink tonight?
He's like, no, dog. Maybe I
Come
want
on,
to.
come
Maybe
on,
I
come
want to.
That's your interaction every day.
I am tired.
That's what he
That's what it says. He goes,
Yeah.
I am tired.
Thanks for showing us a good time.
Hey,
Yes,
Yeah,
Bert.
it was
Thank
great,
you.
Bert.
This was
listen,
the
I
blast.
want to just say I'm so glad we did this. I'm so grateful that this group is such a fucking great group. And obviously I've been with Mance forever. I've been with Peter probably the longest, Peter and Shane. But Mark, you added so much levity to this trip.
Thanks.
That it made so many times when things might get stressful just so light. And that's what you want. And I will tell you, the only reason with this trip that I'm alive today is because of Lacie Mackey. I'm being serious. You are the heart of this trip, because you forcing me to get up this morning and work out, you forcing me to get up every morning and work out. And look, I know I don't look beautiful, and I know that it's got to be a fucking soul-sucking job to be my personal
it's
trainer,
not.
because
No, it's
everyone's like, clearly she doesn't know what she's doing. Look at him. But it's
Not
because I
true.
eat and drink like a fucking lunatic. But I am healthy, and I made
you're
it through
strong
this
as
tour
shit.
because of you.
Yeah.
I did my max bench, 265.
You're a fucking beast,
265.
dog.
Yeah.
You get after it just as hard as you do at the bar in the fucking gym. It's impressive. It's impressive.
It was a fucking blast. It was a fucking blast. Here's what I say we do. I say, how long would you work out for if you wanted to work out? And what would you want to do?
I could do something in 25, 35 minutes.
I wouldn't mind
Real
taking
quick.
a shit.
Yeah.
I could go to my room and take a shit.
Yeah.
I want to buy something expensive.
Like what? A
I
Rolex?
don't know. No. I know.
watch
I
you
told
buy
Leanne I'm
something.
done buying. I'm never buying another Rolex.
You
I'm
did say
fucking
that.
sad.
You did say that.
I don't need one. I like the one she got me is my favorite one. It's the most beautiful one.
And also,
Wanna go to
they've
the
been
North
kinda
Face store and buy
fucking
all the
with you
vests?
at all these Rolex stores.
I do want that vest.
All the vests of the North Face.
Oh, fucking,
Buy 7 of them.
All
I'll buy
of them.
all of them.
I love that energy, Bert. I know exactly.
Yesterday we went to the North Face store and I went and I'm attracted to vests. I'm a vest guy, right? I love
I'm a
vests.
vest guy too, dog.
I love
a
vests.
vest.
I love vests, and blue is my power color. So if I see a blue vest, I go there. Now, adversely, that means that I have already probably 4 or 5 blue North Face vests. I have maybe more,
13 to 15.
I have a lot of, because that's my thing is I see the blue North Face vest and I go, oh, I'm going to grab that. And so yesterday I saw a blue North Face vest and old fucking Pete, the buzzkill dad, comes up with his hands in his pockets and he goes, we got a lot of those vests. And I go, yeah, but this one, and he goes, no, I think you got that exact vest. And I go, no, but this one's, and he's like, don't need another vest. And I went, and I almost bought all of them. I almost bought 7
Take
vests.
all the vests.
And went, I'll take 7 vests. And then just fucking look at him and go, no one tells me what to do. No one tells me what to do. I have such a fucking energy about that. I got that with Leanne when she said, I got an offer from a guy to sell me a new Rolex, which they're very hard to come by. And I said, I'm going to buy it. And Leanne went, no, you're not. And I went, I'm going to buy fucking 3. And then she got really upset. And she was like, I bought you a fucking Rolex for your birthday. Give me a year to enjoy my present. And I went, oh, yeah, I guess that is right. Yeah, so
no Rolexes, but
No.
maybe a lot of vests.
I don't know what I want. I wouldn't have mind a pair of sneakers. I wouldn't have mind.
We can go to that other one. They said that other one's pretty cool. And they have a lot. I looked at a lot of.
Yeah, but no one has
dunks.
my size. My size is the most. My size is the size everyone gets. Size 12 in the UK, size 13
That's
in the US.
crazy to me because I feel like my size is the one that everyone gets.
Oh, you never can find my size. Ever.
13s are, yeah, that's hard.
I kind of want to go to. I really want to go to Canadian Goose Down.
Oh, yeah.
Because my jacket that Peter hated, hated my jacket, was the best jacket on this trip.
Yeah.
It was such a fun jacket to put on. It's so warm. Granted, at times it was too warm, but today was pretty.
You got a lot of
warm.
compliments on it too.
Yeah.
Anytime we did a coat check, they were like, "Ooh, who's the nice
He's
jacket?"
got the
Yeah.
Canada
And so I
Goose.
wouldn't mind a Canadian Goose Down vest. Although I have a great North Face super heavy vest. That's
you didn't bring that one.
I don't have anything on the bus.
Yeah, fuck.
And so we're going to be in the UK, in the United States, where it's not as cold, but it's going to be cold.
You got your goose jacket. I'm good.
Hang on? Did everyone catch that? Did you catch that though?
Yeah.
That's bummer. That's Leanne.
It's a voice of reason.
He goes, well, you got your jacket.
It's a voice of reason.
I don't live in a world of reason. Let's get one more pint downstairs. Thank these gentlemen at the most amazing bar.
The
At the
Crown.
Crown in London
Shout
on
out
the
the
corner
Crown.
of Sherwood Street and Brewer Street. If you ever come here, tell Jazz and Thomas, thank you that you got to listen to a podcast with. We did one with Russell Howard today, and we did this one here. They gave us this space. We didn't rent it. We bought beers, but they were very fucking cool dudes.
They are. Don't
beautiful.
bring weed here though.
Do not bring weed.
Not
Don't
to
bring
the
it
UK.
with you. Not
Don't-
here.
Lower James Street, Sherwood Street, Brewer Street. It's right there. The Crown. We went upstairs. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you, everyone, for
Bert.
coming.
Love you too.
Let's go back
love
to
you.
America.
Woo.
There's a bathroom up here.